Hi, my name is Raph. I am playing Grinner, a barbarian human running from his past as an ex-soldier, now turned mercenary.
Hey everyone, I'm Jared. I'm playing the character of Luther. He's a Dhampir. He is a fighter that specializes in firearms, a bit of an investigator, and I am the great uncle of Grinner.
Hi, I'm Jacob. I'm playing Tithla, the Goblin Ranger. She is a wonderful hunter and medical genius.
Hi, I'm Haz. I'm playing Theodore, the Satyr Druid, who's a kind of a charismatic druid who's unwillingly taken Tithla under his wing as she's followed him through the forest for the past few months.
G'day, I'm Tom. I'm playing Jonor, the Aasimar Wizard. He is on the pursuit of good and evil, finding out the best and worst in this world, and he's doing that with a little bit of naivety and optimism.
And I'm Owen, the Dungeon Master of our Curse of Strahd campaign. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. We've missed you. It's been a whole week since we last did our Curse of Strahd campaign. It's so lovely to see you all again. We're all rested, relaxed, and healed, which is perfect timing to be tortured, terrorized, and absolutely destroyed by this module. So it's lovely to see you all again. We're very happy and excited to be back. We've got everyone here. Everyone's cameras are on. Everyone's mics are working. Except Jacob's. Every so often he says something that annoys me and it just cuts out. I don't know what that's
So Maisie
about.
Peters really
Yes, it's crazy. Look, it's just happened again. I don't know how it happens. This one's a long one too. This one might take a good 10 minutes to come back on. And I think that's a warning as well if it... No, he's back. So for podcast listeners, everyone's here. We're all here. We're very excited to be playing Curse of Strahd again. Thank you everybody who's been watching the Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom on YouTube. It's actually been a really popular series. Thank you so much for checking it out. I've been having an absolute ball playing it. I've got another 20 episodes recorded, edited, ready to drop every single day. I am getting much better at staying on a single quest than I was for the first sort of 50 hours. I found it very hard to not just go in every random direction. I've gotten better at that now, mainly because I've gone in every random direction, and there's not much else to get distracted by. I've pretty much finished all the shrines. I've done all the main quests involving the sages of each race. The quest I'm on right now, without spoiling anything, is very, very fun down in the depths, and involves me constructing some really cool Zonai tech, which I have very thoroughly enjoyed. So that'll be coming out really shortly as well. And I've got a feeling I'm going to be heading to the Great Deku Tree at some point. Now, one person in the Discord did warn me that if I wanted to head to the Great Deku Tree, and I quote, prepare to be fucked up. So I've left that, and I'll be doing that soon, because I'm pretty sure the main quest is going to lead me there next. And I'm excited. I'm ready to be fucked up. So absolutely loving Tears of the Kingdom, as always. Avatar Legends and Return of the Giants will both be on this week. We actually have Dave joining us as a main cast member now in Return of the Giants. He's been a guest for the last number of sessions, but he's going to be jumping on and joining us as a guest while Claire and Michael are away. And we actually have an old cast member coming back to join us again for Return of the Giants. Simon, who was one of the very first original cast members of Tyranny of Dragons, is going to be rejoining as a brand new character for Return of the Giants, which is going to be very, very exciting. He's had a few character ideas in mind, but I think he's looking at, he said, a really good mix of martial and magic. So, like, genuinely, that could be like a hex blade. Maybe he's doing a blade singer. I know he's been really excited by the blade singer in the past, so we'll have to see what he's playing. I'm hoping he gets that to me ASAP, because I need to do some character art for him, and I'm now down to 48 hours. So, if you're watching, Simon, you're stressing me out a bit, mate. Just a little bit. I know, and I know that you had today off because it was a public holiday. So I'm like, come on, give me that stuff. But yeah, that'll be really exciting to have Simon back while Claire and Michael are away for the next couple of weeks. They will be back at some point in the near future, joining us for the campaign for a little bit, and then they will be taking a bit more time off. but we've already got our 2 new cast members lined up. One of the things that will be happening more in both this campaign and the Return of the Giants campaign is we're going to be getting more guests from other communities. So you start to see some faces who you might be familiar seeing from other D&D streams or other D&D series, as well as some, hopefully, that you haven't seen before. And I'm really hoping that we can start to get some guests from other places so that you can get a bit of a taste of what they do, maybe go check them out as well. And hopefully, if their viewers want to come and check out our stuff, share some love and get everyone enjoying some really good D&D campaigns. So I'll be keeping you posted on that as we head forwards. We just had a guest character, and I think we're all guested out after that guest character on Curse of Strahd. I think Raspip really fulfilled that particular need, and then some. We're going to recover a bit more before we bring in another guest. Just take a moment.
So we're gonna recover by playing this super chill, laid back Curse of Strahd campaign.
You know it. Absolutely.
Love it.
Absolutely. That is all the fun announcements from me. Did anyone else have anything fun to share? Anything cool that you did while we had that week off?
Maisie Peters has put out some new
Yep, so he's
videos.
definitely muted. I don't know what's going. I mean, I say muted, but something weird is happening with his audio. Whenever that, it's crazy. I don't know how that occurs.
I was on a boat all week. That was kind of fun.
You were what? So you were on a boat all week?
I was on a boat. Yeah.
Oh my goodness, where were you? Oh, Whitsun. Fuck you. That sounds awesome.
Yeah, she was pretty nice.
Did you and Hannah go?
Yeah, and a whole bunch of friends. About
Tom and I both looked at each other like, where was our invite? Where
Where was that?
It was not organised by me.
It was organised by you.
It was not.
Oh, okay. I thought for a second you were just like really like, and I organised it and you weren't invited. And someone I would just go like, oh. No, that sounds awesome. I'm very excited. I've got a trip with Alice planned in October to Fitzroy Island, which is going to be awesome. Because last time we tried to go, there was a little itty bitty storm that came and blew Fitzroy Island apart a bit about 2 years ago. So we skipped on the Fitzroy Island part of our journey, and now we're coming back to do it properly and have a bit of a scuba and snorkel holiday, just chilling on the island. So I'm very excited for that. So where were you on Whitsundays? Did you go around like Airlie Beach?
Yes, we
We
stayed on Hamilton Island for a couple of nights, then jetted over to Airlie, got on a boat, and then it just basically took us around wherever we wanted to go. Spent a day on Whitehaven, spent a day just snorkeling in different reefs and swimming, doing all sorts of stuff. It was great.
Yeah, that sounds really lovely.
Neat.
Neat. Yeah, the rest of us working.
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
Contributing to society.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Wasn't doing that.
You
Not
feeling the
being a leech.
economy all right of the tourism up north?
Yeah,
right.
They needed it.
You're the real hero.
Thank you.
Definitely everyone who
But
didn't.
now that you mention it, I really am a hero.
Everyone who didn't spend the week on a beach or snorkeling gets an advantage this session. Everyone who did do that gets double disadvantage on every roll they make tonight. So let's no, obviously not. Let me do a recap for last session because I know it has been a week since we last played, and it might be a little bit since we. And actually, Raph, it's actually been 3 weeks since you last played, hasn't it? Because you went with us last week.
It's been a while.
It's been a little bit. So okay, I'll definitely do a very detailed recap, so that we can get everyone up to speed, and hopefully Grinner can catch up. I'm pretty sure last session I had Grinner do very little.
Probably just had more breakfast thrown at me.
No, I think Grinner spent most of the session like guarding the front of the manor to make sure Raspip didn't come back, and then once he confirmed Raspip wasn't coming back, went to the church, and I'm pretty sure I had you like get a bit confused why you were back at the church with the bones, and then get confused why Grinner couldn't be mayor, and then just sort of like chill out after that. I reckon that's exact. That rings some bells. All right, let me do a quick recap. We will jump straight back into the session. The newest team of the Tempest Adventuring Guild have found themselves lost in the dangerous realm of Barovia. Trapped by strange magics, the group have now travelled westward, away from the sinister castle which reportedly houses the immortal ruler of these lands. Successfully arriving in the town of Alaki, the group have now been drawn into an investigation to locate the bones of a saint, missing and said to confer protection to the town. Along the way, the group also teamed up's a strong word. The group also tolerated a gnome sorcerer, Raspip, who was also searching for a lost item. Their paths seeming to lead in the same direction, the Wachter family, who had much to gain from the acquisition of both bones and enchanted ring. Previously, the group almost completely wiped out the Wachter family after receiving an invitation to visit there to discuss the future of leadership in the town of Alaki. A visit which Raspip used as an opportunity to launch a surprise attack on the Lady Wachter, the woman who had acquired his ring. We find out later, quite legally. With only Nikolai and his younger sister currently alive, the group have taken a quick breath now that Raspip has recovered his ring and departed from the manor. Raspip we last saw talking to Gunther, turning a cat into a dog using true polymorph, and then pissing off looking for the Vistani who were responsible for taking his ring. The party, learning that Stella's mind was broken after only spending a week with the family of the Burgomaster Vargas Valakovich, and that her brother Nikolai wanted to take her to the Abbey at Kresk, the party decided they would journey with Nikolai and Stella to try and heal Tithla as well, right after they investigated the Burgomaster. Before all of this, though, the team headed back to Father Lucian Petrovich to return the now recovered bones of St. Andrel. We left off last session as the team decided to head over and meet with Gunther Arasek, the stockmaster of the nearby yard, and learn more about the Valakovich household, in particular their son Victor, who had apparently been betrothed to Stella and has been known to have purchased some tomes containing a darker subject matter. The other important item of note from last session is Father Lucian Petrovich agreeing that Baron Vargas Valakovich needed to go and that a new mayor needed to be instated. With Lady Wachter now gone, the power vacuum could be filled by someone much more benevolent with the interests of the town and its people truly in mind. The group put forward the name of Ismark as a potential leader of the town, having been the son of the Burgomaster of Barovia and having learnt a lot about leadership and displaying some of the honourable traits that would be desirable in a leader. Ismark took a bit of convincing, but after some words, particularly from Luther and Jonor, has decided to step up and do his best to prepare to take over once Vargas is dealt with. While Lucian and Ismark went off to go and discuss and meet with some of the key villagers, Irina went with them. The rest of you had a short rest and recovered hit dice and had a meal that had been provided by Vargas. We jump straight back in at the end of your short rest, having had a moment to recover, to take a bit of a breather given what's been going on. Tithla, your injuries had also improved slightly, given that it's been, I think, 48 or 76 hours since you acquired them. They've now downgraded to 4th degree burns. The immediate changes to your metabolic function having finally subsided slightly, and just the terrible skin burns still afflicting you.
Yeah, it's nice to start settling into these, hideous, disgusting wounds. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, it's good to accept that this is who you are, how you
New
look.
normal.
Exactly, new normal.
Status quo.
Absolutely. Status quo. If you start breaking into High School Musical, I swear to fucking God you're out.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
It sounds like the opening to one of the High School Musical songs, I swear.
I don't know.
They might have been song titles.
I think they might have been. I reckon you know what you're doing. You know what you're doing.
I have no idea what's going on. I haven't seen High School Musical, believe it or not.
I'm rolling an insight check.
I actually know Maisie Peters songs.
Oh, Maisie Peters. I can go on about one.
His microphone's malfunctioning again. It's bizarre. Soon the camera's going to start malfunctioning, and that'll just be tragic. So yeah, I pass over to all of you, having fully recovered. Actually, right at the end of your short rest, as you are sort of finishing up, whatever you've been doing during that time, either taking a break, eating some food, closing your eyes, having a bit of a rest. I think I had Grinner take a bit of a walk outside, light a dog end, have a moment to finish off his dog end, and then head back in and actually have some food. Because I got the feeling that it's been a little bit since Grinner ate, and having rotten food at you does not count as eating breakfast. So yeah. I had Grinner actually eat some good food. So the food that Father Lucian's put out for you is a really nice, freshly baked loaf of bread, some hard cheese, and some cured meats. Some very standard fare. A little jar of pickles as well. Not sweet, more of a not sour, but more of a Polsky or Gorski style pickle, like a dill pickle. Now I'm really hungry for a Polsky or Gorski. Anyway, as Grinner, as you come back into the church and begin walking down the area, you pass a familiar face. Younger gentleman with black hair tied back, dressed in a simple tunic, Holding what looks to be a mattock over one shoulder is Miliavosh, the young man who has been working as a gardener and caretaker for the church grounds. As Miliavosh sees you, he gives you just a simple nod and continues walking past without too much interaction with you, Grinner. I think your interactions with Miliavosh have so far been
Minimal.
yeah. So he's just a simple nod and then walks past.
Yeah, I'll tip my hat to him, keep going. Can I also confirm, so the kids that we saved from the burning house earlier...
the fire was put out. I should say, Grinner, you watched, I think it was Luther who put out the fire. Was it Jonor?
Yeah, I was doing prestidigitation, I think.
Prestidigitation. It was Jonor trying to save the books. So the fire was put out pretty quickly after the cats that were inside that main room had dispersed quite rapidly outside of the house and into the streets. Jonor, realizing that something was up, came and put the fire out. Yeah, the kids. So Nikolai looks to be in his early 20s. His sister Stella maybe 16, 17. They're still in the manor with the guards. The rest of the family guards arrived sort of right after Nikolai had sort of agreed that probably Raspit was the cause of all of this and was willing to let bygones be bygones with you and focus all of his hatred on Raspit.
So
You did a very
totally
good job basically putting all of the blame on Raspit.
Because to be fair, it kind of was all his fault.
Yes,
For lighting the house on fire and killing
I did
his
throw
brother.
one of the... Yeah, I did throw him
He
down
fell.
the
He
stairs.
fell.
To be fair, he did
fell.
fall. What really helped that was that genuinely it was because he tried to punch you and he just went straight down the stairs like that.
We didn't
Like-
lie.
No, and because Nikolai witnessed that, it wasn't really a situation where like he was going to be like, no, you killed him. It's like, well,
Hey, this is actually a good point because so he obviously started the whole fight. That's how we end
Yeah.
up killing Lady Walker. We
And it
need
was-
to like
yeah. There you go.
because I remember I wrote in my notes that like a bard was able to stop the Revenant by like sort of saying it's not sort of my fault that you died. Let's just blame it on Raspip, and the Revenant can chase Raspip too.
Yeah, so the story that you'd
that's
heard from
actually-
Lucian Petrovich was that there was one like revenants are a real problem in Barovia because of the way that undead often rise, and vengeful spirits are very easy to be raised here. There's only one story Lucian knew of a revenant being dealt with, and that was Bard being able to calm the revenant, trap it and calm it, and then be able to sort of have a conversation with it and convince it that it wasn't the Bard's fault, that it was actually an accident, and then the revenant was able to move on without
And
announcing
apologized.
like apologized for his part in it. So that the reason we're talking about that is obviously for those of you who missed it, it did seem like the Lady Wokta had placed a bit of a curse on the party after her demise.
So
We can
Let's
totally
blame
put that on Raspip, yeah. That's... Yeah, hell, we can even volunteer to help and hunt him down.
That's pretty funny, actually.
New big bad guy, Raspip. Curse of Raspip.
Curse of Raspit.
I'll make my way back over to the others, probably still munging on a piece of cheese that I stuffed in my pocket after the food.
Small wedge of sort of quite a hard cheese. Quite creamy, but a bit of a tart flavour, Grinner, as if it's been aged for not long enough. Sort of, it doesn't have that nice mature flavour. Yeah, as you walk back in, you see the rest of the group just wrapping up their short rest.
Yeah, guys. If we do find out what this, these books Victor's been using, possibly on the younger sister. If some of them seem interesting, I wouldn't mind having a look at them myself, just to further my understanding. Just if we get the chance, just want to throw it out there that I might want to grab that book.
I agree. I think the first thing that we should do is we got to get our heads in the game. We really got to, sort of break free from this thought process. We can't really be sticking to the status quo.
You're poking a bear, Jacob, and I want you to know that there will be consequences if you continue in this way.
I told you they were Messi Peter songs.
No, they're not. It's High School Musical songs.
He's
I'm not
actually
an
got
idiot.
them off again.
Yeah, now
I'm not
I've
an
got the
idiot.
list of High School Musical songs.
He was just staring sideways, not moving, looking at the
Jacob, I
screen.
genuinely have a photographic memory. You're not going to get this past me. Like, I'm not a fool.
It's also being recorded.
Yeah, that's true. That's my photographic memory. It's the recording.
I really think if we were to start something new, though. Anyway, I got nothing.
Yeah, you fucking don't.
Great.
What were we
Very
doing?
motivational.
What were we doing?
We're trying to get books from. We're trying to figure out what
Oh, yeah.
books we're sold on. Yeah, I do want to find out if he's got any more good books to sell as well. That'll also be great.
Well, it's, looks like we're heading down to the warehouse.
Oh, we were going to see where he got the books from, weren't we?
Yeah,
I think
it's
good
Yeah,
it's a
no,
good
Gunther
beginning
got-
for us trying to overthrow this Velaki. So
Yeah, because the options are either discredit to the point that he couldn't win an election or murder.
So,
Those are
Okay,
the
well,
only
we
two options
could-
available to you. In a game that's only hampered by your imagination, it's a binary choice
All we got.
between murder and
And
discredit.
smear campaign.
Yeah.
if we get him to the point where he's going to threaten like Tithla again, then I think we're all good.
Then we can justify it all.
Yeah,
It's
we
time
can
to form the Barovian equivalent of Fox News and just take this guy down with a smear campaign based on no evidence, no facts.
indeed, I
also
could
like-
probably get him to threaten me. I don't think it'll be that difficult.
All I have to do is
You,
start creating song lyrics, and he'll just everyone around him, everyone will just turn on me.
yeah, then we're not
We
with
could just start something new here.
You've done that one.
Yeah. I would also like to point out that at this point, we murdered Lady Wakta only to then go and do exactly as she was asking us to do anyway.
Yeah, but at least this way she can't take over too, though, right?
Yeah, and we're
Dude,
trying to
I'm
break
just-
free from the control that she
Ow.
You've already done that one. Like, mate, it's just sad.
That's all he's got.
I know, it's just
There's
sad.
only so many songs.
I know, it's a blessing.
High School Musical 2.
I don't know it. Not going to be able to. I'm not even going to notice or care.
We're fractured. We're fractured. We all.
It was
need
a
to
one-hit
come,
wonder.
We all need to stick together. We're all in this.
Okay, thank you. We've done that one too.
You're fucking hell.
The infection spreads.
Go team.
It's always been there.
Sanity rolls for.
Can you please, for the love of God, get your heads in the game, and can we like genuinely start playing
All right.
D&D?
So,
I mean,
If
seriously,
my-
we need to stick together.
if I'm understanding
I know.
from what happened 15 minutes ago,
Yeah.
and not 2 weeks ago,
Yeah.
Victor got bad books from Gunther, but we want to know where Gunther got the bad books from to begin with. Is that right?
No, I think we want to know
And
what
more
bad
the
books he
content
got.
of the books.
I don't know how bad this, because this is the guy we're trying to smear, or the son of the guy we're trying to smear.
That's right. So we want to know both. We want to know where Gunther got the bad books from, but also why.
Also,
And what did he do?
I
And
was
what did
having
he
to
do?
think when I went on my walk.
Oh, you've been
And-
very quiet the last hour and a half.
He's
Well,
not been there.
I wasn't here,
Outside.
mate. So,
Ah, what? That
was
is. Oh, I'm
cheese.
sorry.
right, and what I was thinking about is, look, there were a lot of cats in that house, right? And
Yep.
is it a thing? Like, that's not normal, right? You don't have that many cats in a house. I don't live in houses too often. That's not normal, right?
No, I think
Depends on how
normally
rich
we
you
try
are.
not to judge people based on the living conditions that they're choosing.
Well,
You know,
it's
sort of
not-
a.
it's
I
not
lived
a
in the forest with
judgment, right?
hundreds of animals.
No, but what I'm saying, right, is you don't have a cat girl in the house with a bunch of cats, right? Like, were you trying to domesticate her, or what? What I'm thinking, right, is
Well, I thought that we learnt that cats were the only animal that have ever that domesticated themselves.
yeah. Well, I don't know anything about that, love, but what?
I read it one day.
All right.
I did not know you could read.
I was learning. It
So
was one of those.
what
It was in
I'm
like a
thinking,
cracker, and you break it open, and it says something in it.
Tiffany,
normally it's like-
shut up for a bit here. What-
I'm going to give inspiration to Grinner. No, that's bullying.
Oh, okay.
I was thinking,
I'm going to give
right?
disadvantage to Tithla. I want to make it really clear that if I am going to bully, it can't be subtle. I need it to be really obvious what I'm doing.
Sure thing, Grinner. You just had to ask.
Well, yeah, I feel like I shouldn't have had to, love. But anyway, that's not the point. Right. So, what if, right? And I know this is. I don't know how magic works. Right. I just hit things and ghost children follow me around a bit. Is it possible, right, that someone's them can get put into a bunch of cats, and then all of the cats get put into one person?
Oh, it's like a mind and body swap.
Yeah, like, did we just shoo out that kid into the street into like a dozen fucking cats?
Cat fragments.
Yeah.
How,
Very good question.
how do we put them back in?
Well, I don't fucking know. I think we'd have to find them first.
Does she have to eat all the cats?
Well, we could try that, but I think that's a one-shot sort of thing, mate. I don't think we get a second go at that.
Can I scour my memory of that sort of magic?
Yeah, do you want to make me an Arcana check or a History check, Jonor, with your choice?
Definitely a Jonor mystery.
11. Jonor, as you have a bit of a reflect back and think through what you know about various forms of magic, unfortunately, what Grinner's describing isn't an area of magic that you've had a lot of experience in. I mean, your training hasn't really focused on medical magic or understanding disease and damage. And curses are not really your thing either. It's not really something you've spent a lot of time looking into and understanding curses. Your focus has been on magic of more direct means, so evocation, conjuration magic, and that sort of style thing, as well as your own personal investigations into good and evil and the distinctions between them, and the hypotheses around how they influence magic, like your alignment and your decision making, how that affects your magic and the magic that you can conjure. You're not really sure about this. I mean, as you think it through, it'd be a pretty powerful curse to take someone's mind and split it in the first place. But once you did that, putting it inside a living vessel kind of does make sense to you, at least. Like, at least then the mind is going to be protected and stored. It wouldn't take as much energy, you think, as splitting it and putting inside something inanimate. But whether or not that's what's happened here, you're not sure. And the magic that does that, you're not even really sure if that's possible. As you think it through, like, it's hypothetically possible from your understanding of magic, but whether or not it actually is achievable, yeah, you're not sure. It's what Grinner proposes probably is a fascinating thought, and one that I suspect Jonor might jot down for later research.
Yeah, like, that's very fascinating. I think we need to hit up a more familiar wizard. I'm not versed in these that sort of domain, but you know, it makes a lot of sense. You've got a good brain on your in your head and on your shoulders, Grinner.
Well, thanks. No one's really said that before, but all right. Cheers. Do we need to? Yes, Tithla.
I just want to say that was very good job.
Thanks, love. All right. Can I pat her on the head?
I think we still need to get her to the hospital in Kresk, however. Regardless, I think even if the cats are her, we still need someone probably a bit beyond us to put them back in, unless we just make a cat sandwich.
Yeah, and I think you're right on that point, but also, don't we need the cats for that? Like, aren't they just fucking everywhere?
Well, they left the house when it was on fire, but then they lived there, so cats usually come back if you, I don't know, put out a bowl of milk.
Yeah.
What?
I guess. Do we have time for that?
Should we go do that?
I reckon we need those cats.
Yeah, probably a good idea.
Put, like 30 cats in a bag and lug that across Barovia?
Oh,
No,
fuck,
come on.
there's that many of them.
There was a fair number of cats.
I didn't count them. Alright.
Did we count the cats, Owen?
It doesn't sound
Seems
like
like it
anyone
was-
counted the cats.
But did we get like
I
a
reckon it was like
ballpark?
10.
Are we at 30? Yeah, we at 10, 30? What order of magnitude of cat are we at here?
Did anyone take notes on how many cats there were?
I would like to make a history roll based
Yes.
on the fact that Grinner would be good at picking numbers from scouting in the army.
I like that justification. Grinner may make a history check.
Yeah.
If I lied and just said I wrote down that there were 11 cats, would you believe me?
Well, I know how many there are, so like I might go, well, that's how many cats you think there are.
Nat 20
Is that a
minus
natural
1.
20? Fuck you.
Oh.
Oh, Grinner.
Tell me how many
you
cats.
Son of a bitch. I will tell you how many cats there were. Grinner, Grinner, there were exactly 9 cats.
Okay.
Damn it.
Oh, that's much more
Nice.
achievable.
Oh,
And
Grinner.
sack placeable.
Yeah, I think there were 9 of them. In fact, I'm certain of it.
I could name them Tibbles, Tiddles, Tickles, Tiddles.
Did Raspip not convert one of them into a dog and give it to...
Oh,
You guys didn't see that. You
we
just saw
don't know that.
Raspip step through his dimension door and one of the cats get pulled through.
Shit.
Well, did not Raspip take one of the cats to the dimension door? It could be literally
Definitely.
anywhere.
You definitely see one of the cats go through the dimension door. Definitely.
Well, it
So the
could
best
be
you can get
anything.
is 8 nights of a cat lady.
Well, I'm pretty good, you know, and so are you. We could go and find the cat in the town. We go
Well,
searching.
What is... Jonor, what is the range on a dimension door? How far could he have gone?
Ooh, I haven't quite studied that one. I couldn't tell you actually.
Well,
What,
also on
what
that,
good values then?
Oh, yeah.
I can make fire occasionally. You know, I
Yeah.
try my best.
Fair enough.
these books that we need
pretty
more
good.
info on, right? Like we're gonna need to go see old mate at the shop. Yeah, like he's gonna have some sort of a crate that we can stick all these cats in, surely.
Yes, well, let's go ask him. Maybe these books contain details on what was done to the girl?
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's do it. And we'll pick up cats along the way.
Yeah, if we see a cat, doesn't matter what it looks like. If it's a cat, it's going in the bag.
Bruno, I'm going to say with a natural 20, you do actually vaguely remember, like, a very rough idea of what each of the cats actually looked like. With a natural 20, even with the -1, like, as you stood guard, part of your training requires you to take notes of people who would pass through into camp so that you could inform management or the next set of guards sometimes in the, like, who had entered camp, who hadn't, who was where, and sometimes you didn't have the luxury of a pen and pencil or pen and charcoal. So, yeah, I'm going to say that you actually, with a natural 20, you actually even vaguely remember what each of the cats looks like, enough that you would recognize whether this is one of the cats or not one of the cats if you looked at it, or it looked very similar to one of the cats. I'm going to say that that is the case heading forwards.
I'm gonna just look at Jonor and start describing every cat in detail.
It's a pretty vague cat. It's more like you're going to be much better at recognizing them. So if you see one of the cats, you're going to be able to know, oh yeah, that looks like one of those cats. Yeah, I think it's that one. Or nah, that cat's too fat. These cats
Okay.
were slightly underfed, and it doesn't smell smoky, so it probably wasn't in that room.
Well, I remember what these cats look like to an extent, at any rate. So I'm happy to be on cat duty, for whatever the fuck that means.
Can I roll
And,
a perception while we're going along so I can just point out cats to Grinner to see if he can ID him?
Yeah, 100%. I do
should
like
probably
how, as a
tell-
joke, I called this session "Herding Cats," and now it is actually genuinely what the session has become. It was a joke because it was a funny suggestion, and I thought, yeah, that's about what it's like for me as a dungeon master of this group. Now it's just actual cat herding. 13 Theodore, nice. Jonor, you look like you were going to say something.
Yeah, on exactly that, we should just tell. Well, hang on, what's the name of the guy? The son to lay out the milk.
Yeah.
Nikolai.
Yeah, Nikolai. We'll do that
Alright.
on the way.
Perfect. You actually do have to go past the Wachter Manor to get to the stockyard, in at least the way that you've travelled down the main roads. There probably are roads that would connect up down the side streets, but from where you are and from what you remember of the town layout, probably the easiest way, at least sticking to the routes you know, is just to go via the main road, which is past the Wachter house once again. As you set out and begin making your way down the main street, you can see that people have begun to emerge from inside their houses once again, now that the cheer squad of Baron Vargas Valakovich has left, and people are no longer being forced to smile in the streets and laugh and play. It looks like people are starting to come back out again. However, you can start to see more preparations being done for this latest festival. You know that the Festival of the Blazing Sun, whatever that is not too far away. You've heard it mentioned a couple of times now, and you can see that there are a number of people, mostly dressed in the guard uniform of the Vargas household, this dark grey and black uniform with the Vargas family crest on it, working away, hanging up what looked to be bundles of twigs shaped in a rough wreath, probably to be lit on fire at some point during the celebrations. As you pass through and head via the Blue Water Inn and make your way towards the Wachter Manor, Wachter House, Jonor, I'm assuming you just quickly run up the driveway, let Nikolai know. Do you want to roleplay? Because I'd love to hear what specifically you do tell Nikolai. So Jonor, as you sort of rush up, you see Nikolai is actually at the front of the house, packing things into a chest as a carriage waits nearby. It looks like he's in the process of like packing up and getting ready to get a carriage sorted. As he sees you approach, he gives you a nod and goes, "Yes, hi there, Jonor, wasn't it?"
Yeah, that's the one, Nikolai. I have a bit of a suggestion which could be helpful for the means of having your sister return to better health. Okay. I'm by no means a wizard that can do any sort of this mind correction work, but we have a theory that perhaps collecting the cats back all together again, and possibly, if there's an association between the cats and your sister, having them all together would be very helpful for correcting her state.
Oh.
So what I'm going to suggest is, could you possibly lure the cats back in? Like, are these your cats?
My mother's cats mostly. Well, a mixture of hers and my sister's. My sister was the one who really loved cats. Two of them were ours originally. One was my mother's, one was hers. But when she had her incident and returned to us from the Valakovich household, my mother thought by getting her more cats, it might keep her happy, especially because she was acting rather cat-like. My mother thought maybe that was one of the things that might help her, so she went out and acquired some cats from other locations, but it didn't seem to make any difference, and so my mother abandoned that plan and tried other avenues instead. None of the cats are mine.
Which was her cat, by the way?
Her cat was called Bluebell. It's medium-sized cat, sort of like a grayish, bluish fur, short hair. Has a ribbon. Has a ribbon.
Is it still around?
I'm not sure. I haven't seen Bluebell since everything happened.
All the fray happened.
I can have a look if you.
Yeah,
if you
that'd be great. Just make sure the cat definitely stays here.
Make sure the cat stays here, right? And try and get the other cats back.
That's right, yeah. If you got some of the guards, just make sure they're on, herd cats. That'd be great.
Herd cats. Right.
If they come by, grab a cat. Yep.
You think this will help?
Oh, actually, no. They don't know whose cats are whose, so we'll round the cats. That's okay.
Are you sure? I would recognize the cats. If they were to bring me cats, I could vaguely recognize which ones are ours. So.
Absolutely. Yeah, go for it then. Make sure you leave out, something treats for the cats to come by and take.
Okay.
I'll
talk to the guards and see if we can get the cats. I'll check. Do you want me to check upstairs for Bluebell before you leave, or
that'd be great. Yeah, please.
Okay, I'll be right back. Nikolai runs back inside. A few moments later, Jonor, he runs back downstairs and goes, "Yeah, I've got Bluebell. Bluebell's there. She looks like she was in the room with Stella. She was under the bed. Stella's holding her now. That was the one that was in the room when you guys came in. We've got Bluebell. I don't know where the others are though. They're not there."
Okay, well, definitely keep those two safe together.
Yeah, I'll talk to the guards. No problem. Thank you. I hope this works. I can't believe my mother was on the right track with this. I thought she was crazy for just getting more cats. But look, if you think this will work...
can you take me to that cat just for a moment? Yell out to the guys. Guys, I'm just going to try and talk to this, to the daughter's favorite cat.
You're doing what?
I then just run upstairs.
Okay, cool. as you come upstairs, Jonor, as you run into the room, probably not taking a moment to pause, sounds like you're pretty excited. Stella immediately, and then as she sort of recognizes you and you don't make any more aggressive moves, calms back down, moving over to the side of her bed and sort of looks at you rather curiously before brooming at her ears again. The cat that is sitting at the end of her bed is exactly as Nikolai described. Greyish blue fur, a little red ribbon around its neck. As you rush in, it looks up at you really bored, kind of flicks its tail a little bit, cocks its head, and then sort of goes back to sort of batting away at the edge of the bedspread. As Nikolai sort of comes up behind you. Oh, yes, you go.
Hey, Bluebell, how are you? And I see if she responds.
The cat sort of looks up as you speak, and then as you stop talking and don't do anything else, it goes back to sort of batting away gently at the bedspread.
Point at it.
Yep.
Use message.
Oh.
Is this Bluebell, or is this someone else?
Okay, now I need to quickly check message. It has to be able to speak a language to return the message, doesn't it? Or does it not?
Yeah, I think it needs. Let me check.
Target hears the message and can reply in a whisper that only you can hear. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So the
would imply
target and only the
language.
target hears the message and can reply in a whisper that only you can hear. So it's not telepathy. It's more just like speaking into your ear. Jonor, as you do that, the cat sort of like looks up a little bit, looks around, because the sound would come from. It wouldn't be directional with message. I imagine it's like sort of quite an undirectional source of sounds. The cat kind of looks a little bit confused, and then as it like hunkers down a little bit and the message stops, looks and goes, meow, which you hear as a slight whisper.
Okay. That was a very interesting experiment, and I think I'll take more evidence at a later point. Thank you for this. I'm going to head back to the group and be on our way.
Nikolai sort of like looks and goes, yeah, no problem. I'll talk to the guards. Yep.
Greatly
I'll
appreciate
send
it.
them out. Yeah. Brilliant. Jonor, as you get back to the rest of the group and you guys begin walking down, as you sort of get about probably 10, 20 meters away, you see one of the guards at the gate, like a messenger runs up, whispers something in his ear. He like looks around, sees a cat over by the sidewalk that Grinner had noticed and realized wasn't one of the cats. Like leans down a little bit and goes, yeah, push, 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 push. As he starts walking towards it, the cat like hackles up, looks at him, and he goes, yeah, push, 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 push. Cat bolts. He goes, oh fuck, and begins rushing after it, trying to catch it. As you see about 5 other guards emerging from the walk to house, looking around, going, yeah, push, 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 push. As you just unleash a whole group of what look to be crazy people, walking around saying, yeah, push, 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 push. Amazing.
We have more men for the fight, guys. Look at them run.
I love that you've turned this group of like grizzled guards into like cat herders.
I might say to the just to what's the remaining Wakta called again?
Nikolai.
The remaining
I'm gonna go to,
the lone Texas Wakta.
I'll go to him now and say, now look, they can go around and try and catch them by hand. That's probably not going to work too well. So I would recommend creating or buying some traps and sort of tailor it to cats, and you might have more success that way as well.
Yeah, I don't know if we have any cat traps. Rat traps might be a bit small. I'll see if I can hire one of the hunters. Maybe they know a snare system. A killing kind of trap.
No, not the killing. Not
No,
the
I
killing.
want to capture them alive. So
Yeah, it sounded like Jonor needed them for something.
Oh, yeah,
I'll
you just
talk
said rat
to.
trap. Rat
Yeah.
traps, I don't- yeah.
Do the cats normally come and go, or do they always stay in the room upstairs?
No, they're indoor cats. My mother wasn't keen on them walking around. I'll see if I can talk to one of the hunters. Maybe there's some sort of snare system we could set up to capture some of them.
I could show you a couple of things if that would help.
If you have time. Although probably not me. Maybe it'd be best if you could teach the guard. Oh, he looks as the guards begins fanning out across the street, heading down different alleyways. I might see if I can like call them back with the bell, and
If you
I'll
just
get a hunter.
one
don't
of
worry.
them, just get one of them. I'll show them, they'll show the others. It'll be like some sort of tree of pyramid funnel.
I mean, this might work, of course, but if you also just employ a hunter who's going to stay here permanently with you while you are in this endeavor, that might be easier. We'll need a Tithla. You can't trust everyone. Like, they'll
Why
probably
not?
forget how to do the trap.
Why can't we trust them? I trust. Trusting everyone has never led me astray, not once.
As you're
There's
covered in,
a-
like,
There's a
these
hunter who would
horrible
often.
birds.
There's a hunter who would
Maybe
often bring us
Damo,
meat.
That hurt my heart.
Yeah, that one still
Never written that
sings.
down, am I? There's a hunter my mother employed to often bring us fresh cuts of meat. Gareth, I can see if he's around, and maybe he can help source some. He's quite an accomplished hunter. I mean, he's at least in his 30s, so pretty old for a hunter in these
old.
parts. Yeah. You watch as Nikolai nods, no sense of irony or humor
So
in his
old.
eyes at all. It's just like, yep,
Tithla's being 100% serious as well.
yeah. I'll see if I can find Gareth. Don't worry, you lot. I'll
Luther,
talk to Gareth.
isn't
and see
that
if we can
super old? Isn't 30 super old, Luther?
I suppose. I guess. Quite
And how
close to
long
that
have you been
myself.
30, Luther? You don't look a day over 30,
So-
Luther. And how long have you looked that way?
So yeah, it's 30s. I'm quite near that, I guess. As I'm sort of sheepishly just looking around. Yeah, it's you don't see. I don't seem to get past that 30. Though, am I right? I just keep getting older and the aches and stuff.
Oh, my back.
Sort of crickets. Everyone's got crickets. No one's speaking. So, oh, yep, okay.
No, there's no crickets.
Don't worry about that.
Okay.
I wonder how Gunther is. We can go ask him.
I think we need to keep going.
Actually, I
Okay.
do have my age as 28, like when I turned. I'm going to do 30 because I think it's more funny to always be 30 instead of 29. It's like more sad.
I think so.
Oh.
Well, in that case, Tithla would say, "Oh, Luther, no offense, like, but 30's pretty old.
None taken.
Like, I'm sorry that you're also super old at 30, but
I feel like I've been 30 for a long time.
As
I know,
someone born
me too.
in '93, this is such a kick in the nuts right now.
Yeah,
I'm with you there. I'm right there with you, my dude.
I'm the beginning of
One more
94,
year.
so I'm not even that far behind. Right with you.
I
Next
turned
year,
31 last Friday, so
Oh,
31
so
is so old.
better.
It's not even you as your character now, it's just you as the, as the player. Just-
This is just Jared.
Yeah, this whole escapism thing isn't working so well now, is it?
But
no.
it's sort of like I can't say. It's like I can't say I'm 29. I'm 30 forever. But then I can't. It's like you almost don't get the right to sort of make those jokes as you get older too. I was just sort of stuck in that really weird 30 period.
Yeah, so as a Dhampir, you do have a sense of agelessness about you. You really haven't changed physically that much since you were turned into a Dhampir. So yeah, whatever age you were when you turned, if it now is 30, if you wanted to make it 30,
It was going to be. It was
perpetually-
28, but I think 30 is more funnier now.
Okay, perfect.
I'm just.
All right, brilliant.
I'm forever 30.
Just really at that like cusp of everything being great and everything being not so great is what you're trying to say. Hey?
It's
Everyone
like
expects you to know what you're doing. You still have
you've
no
lost-
idea.
You've lost those, youth. You've lost your youth, sort of. But you haven't gained the wisdom yet.
Everything
either, being
hurts.
like an older sort of gentleman.
Yet you have responsibilities now.
Stop! It already hurts.
All right, we need to move on from this, or
share
I'm just gonna start crying. We need to move on. It's just I'm not gonna be able to continue running the session. Yes, please feel free to talk to Gunther if there's anything more you can learn. That would be great. Just you were talking about. I remember before you left yesterday, we spoke a little bit. You were talking about looking into Vargas. His son Victor. You were asking some questions about him. There's something else I remember that I forgot to mention earlier. In the heat of what was going on. I don't think Victor and his father get along very well. His father always, at least when our families were together or in public, he would always put his son down and treat him rather poorly. I'm not sure if there's much love lost between the two of them, at least last I checked. The whole marriage with my sister, the engagement with my sister, I mean, Victor had no choice in that from the sounds of it. It was all his father's doing, so I'm... Maybe if you were looking at finding out what happened, maybe Victor could be a good person to talk to. Like, he's a weird
That's a very
dude, don't get
good
me wrong,
idea.
a bit creepy, but I never got the sense that he was dangerous.
So
His
you
father,
think
though,
it's
is
more
batshit
likely
crazy.
His father has harmed your sister rather than his son.
I mean, I struggle to imagine Victor really being able to accomplish anything.
Let's find out
Why?
what knowledge
Well,
he
'cause
sort
he's
of delved
really-
into first.
He's really kind of like he's a bit of a bookworm. He's not very like athletic or powerful. As far as I'm aware,
Believe many things. If you read lots of books, knowledge is power. That's a very commonly. known
I
thing,
know
okay?
that's something nerds say to feel better about themselves, but mostly because I just said that as Owen about 20 minutes ago. I know that's something nerds say to feel better about themselves, but I mean, like he's quite shy, quite reserved. Victor, I mean, my brother and I had no troubles picking on him. Like
Does
He
he
was an
have
easy
any
target.
interests other than books? Something we may be able to relate to him about.
I think I've got lots to relate to this
I think it
nerd.
might
It
be
does,
on board,
it does sound like
Who's-
Jonor and Victor are going to get along swimmingly.
I bet
You
they
have a
can't
similar
swim
build,
within 30
actually.
minutes of eating.
Yeah,
Good thing we have not eaten.
I'm not even sure he can swim, full stop, if I had to make a call.
Oh, wow.
Does anyone go swimming around here? Is there a location in which one could even swim in this?
There's the river.
creepy
Yeah,
mist?
there's a
Like
river.
a
Sometimes
Actually,
when
they're
we were
close to
young.
the river. I think the lake
Yeah.
is pretty close.
There's the lake as well. My brother and I sometimes took us swimming in the lake.
Right, the
But
lake.
you have to be careful. There's an area that's roped off. There are creatures that you can find in the lake, giant leeches and things like that. But there's an area that's roped off with nets that you can swim in. Sometimes we would go down to the water, not for a while, but
Who bothers to set up giant leech nets to go swimming in this depressing ass little demi-plane?
Yeah, I'm not keen
well,
to
mate,
just
there's
look at
not
that
much else
lake.
going on. Like people who want to like slowly drown themselves, I guess, but not die to leeches.
But not by a leech.
Yeah. Look,
Okay, that's fair
there's,
enough.
there's not much to do. I imagine Theodore would actually say that out loud, to be honest. It sounds like a
Oh, yeah.
Theodore. There's not much else to do, and it's good exercise, and it was a great opportunity to play around and get away from my mother. Brother and I would often go down to the water, and we had a little boat that we'd sometimes paddle on.
That's fair enough. Well, all right. Let's go see our shopkeeper friend, Mr. Gunther, and see what we can learn about this Victor, and then we go see the Victor.
Sounds like a solid plan, I think.
Turn him from a victor into a victim. We're crazy.
No, this
That's
is
you
that was
guys.
all Raspip. We do not murder political figures.
Well, I mean, I would like to punch him, though, to be fair.
Victor.
Yeah.
I mean, you've not even met this man.
No, I know, but he just sounds like a bit of a twat, right? He's just always reading.
So you against bookworms then?
Have you been saving it up from spending so much time with Jonor?
Yeah, look.
I don't trust a written word, all right? Anyone who reads books too much, you got to punch out the words. Get them out.
That's right. That's right. Knock him out.
They fester in there like a wound.
I don't want to say anything nasty to Jonor because he's in the habit of buying children. I don't know what else he finds to do. So
It was only attempting. In all fairness, it was only an attempt. It was a failed attempt.
Jonor goes to start. He looks over at Luther, and I imagine Luther is just like,
I'll probably just wave you off and be like, "Don't add fuel to the fire."
you know, I restrain rather than just outbursting. I just probably start walking in the direction.
There's only so many times you can say, I was offering a scholarship before it just doesn't sink in. It's like, well, whatever.
Our university is
Probably,
buying children.
Not
Probably. I'll probably go
Depends
to
on the
Theodore and as we're walking off, I'll be like, "Look, I know you didn't try and buy him that time. I know it was all misunderstanding. I know everyone else is taking you for a ride. It's all right, my friend. Just try to just make him feel a bit better."
It's
And
a
then I
very.
start saying- And then I start saying things like, "Look, it's okay to read books. It doesn't make you a nerd or anything like that. Like you're learning. They just don't understand. Like."
I mage hand some dust and throw it at Grinner and walk away.
oh,
They're going to make you feel better. That's great.
What's
That's,
Given that your mage hand has you've got the telekinetic mage hand, it's just this beefy. It grabs like a full like fistful of dust and then just poof, in Grinner's face. Grinner, as the dust settles, your face is like outlined in almost like a white dusty powder, like a chalky white powder.
he put my fucking cigarette out.
I then turn and hold a firebolt in my hand. Would you like a light or?
Well, no, you know what? Magic's pretty good. You haven't bought no one.
You know what? I feel like you guys got really drunk one night, and that's 100% something Jonor would have tried to do in action and just hit you with the firebolt.
Do they get fly past the dog end and just light it? He's like, as it goes past.
Just right now.
But I love the idea of Grinner losing like his eyebrows in the process because it passes this close. The heat just strips the eyebrows straight off him. Oh, my
Worth
nose
it.
hairs. Oh, my eyebrow. Oh, my eyebrows. It's a very short walk from the Wachter house to the Arisek stockyard, and as you step on in,
50 minutes.
what was that? Sorry.
Yet it's taken us like 50 minutes.
Yeah. Actually in-game time. As you arrive in the stockyard, you can see Gunther speaking with a woman that you haven't seen before. greying auburn hair tied up in two very tight buns, dressed in a very conservative, but very well-shaped dress that seems to conform to her body quite closely, is a woman that he's speaking to. They are standing on either side of a cage, inside of which you can see a cat. In the cage with them, which is way too big for the cat, a much larger holding pen, you can see some bones, as well as what looks to be a bundle of cloth. And as you step up and begin hearing what they're saying, you hear Gunther speaking quite animatedly. No, I told you that the gnome brought a dog, and he gave me a dog, and I put it in the cage to look after. And then a few moments later, when I came back out, it was this cat again. Like, I by the time I came to go and get you, and I had finished getting the dog all set up, I swear I got you a dog, but it has become a cat. You can hear the woman just let out this long-suffering sigh. Honey, I know that you are very excited to have got me a dog, but you are not fooling me with this. I know you too well. But the cats do not just turn into dogs and then back into cats again. Please, if you're going to get me a pet, I'm not very interested in cats. In fact, I am a little bit allergic, as you know. He just sort of sighs and goes, I didn't get you a cat. I got you a dog, and it just turned into a cat. I swear to you, I would not lie to you, my love. She just sort of shakes her head and goes to wander off. As Gunther looks in the cage and just sighs, Grinner, you recognize the cat very much as one of the ones from the manor, the one that disappeared into the portal with Raspip. As Gunther turns around and sees you, he goes, oh, you lot, your gnome friends has really fucked me over with this.
No,
I think
Did he
Fred
make
is
you
a bit
look like a
generous.
fucking wanker?
he is not
He made me. I was going to look like a rock star for my wife, but now I look like a wanker after giving her this cat. This is now just. It is a cat.
The cat turned into a dog and back into a cat?
It was a dog, and now it is a cat. And
Well, it is obviously cursed. You should probably give it to us for safe disposal.
if disposal.
Nice.
This is a living creature. I'm not going to. What are you going to do
No,
to it?
we will take it out of the city so it cannot inflict its curse upon anyone else.
Well, actually, I think what we should probably do is give it back to the person that owns it, right? Because that's the Wokta cat.
This belongs to
That's
the
one of them.
Wokters.
Yeah, look at it. That's one of the ones.
Yes, please. I would not like to be accused of stealing a cat from the Wokters. Yes, please. If you are willing to take this cat back to the Wokters, you were going to go and talk to them about a ring, weren't you? And some bones.
Yeah, we got that sorted.
Oh, great. I heard there was some commotion at the Wokta house.
No.
Yeah, our acquaintance, the gnome, he got up to some mischief. I'll just leave
He
it at
threatened
that.
my life and fucked off.
Yeah, I think it's fair to say that you don't have to be scared of the Wokta family no more.
Any of them left?
Except for the part about giving us the cat, that you still have to be scared of.
I don't want the cat. You can have the cat. I don't care what you do with the cat. If it is the Wokters and there are Wokters left, give them the cat back. If there are no Wokters left, I don't care what you do with the cat.
So
The aftermath of Raspip, that left a lot of us. Some of them are still alive though, so we'll definitely take the cat back.
I'm going to assume that this is information that if you tell me, I probably don't want to know. Right? It could get me in trouble.
Probably.
Okay. In that case, then, it is enough to know that this is a Wokta cat. Here, you take the cat. I don't want the cat.
Speaking of information, we were told you sold some mysterious books to Victor, the son of the Burgomaster.
Oh, that was a number of months ago. Yes, he came and was asking for some specific books. I was able to locate some of them. He took them and paid me quite a bit of gold.
As
I can
part
get
of this
books.
whole thing that you don't want to know, we need to know what these books contained.
Oh, he did pay me quite a bit not to share and not to mention it to anybody. But you already know, so I'm not mentioning it to you. I'm just confirming what you already knew.
Well, then I could go perhaps mention you're a good acquaintance of this Raspip fellow. You're buying animals off him, good friends.
Look, there's no need to threaten me. Come on. I'm just trying to get away, trying to get a buy in this world. Your gnome friend already threatened me and told me that he would burn me alive if I did not help him find where his dream
look.
was from.
All right, we won't threaten you, mate. But what we will do is, if you don't tell us what was in those books, then I'm gonna hit you.
That's
Yep,
a threat.
that's right.
That's the definition.
That's right.
That's the definition of a threat.
Yep.
I don't think you know what the threat is.
Well,
So not
that's
a
still
threat
what's
would be
gonna happen.
what a threat. Not if you wanted to not threaten me, you just say, "Hi Gunther, we've done some business with you. Why don't we give you some gold and you can tell us some information?" And I would go, "Yes, of course. That is very fair. Come inside. You give me some gold. I will tell you what you want to know."
Well, you would do that for us, for money.
Yes, I am a merchant. I sell things for money, sometimes information.
Oh, hey, Gunther, you want to
Yeah.
go inside and tell us about this stuff that was in the books?
Oh, I'd love to. It's going to cost some gold. Do you have some gold?
I could hit you.
That's a threat again. You've not grasped this.
So
Clearly,
I
I did
might
not
take
go.
over. Maybe I sort of gesture for Theodore. So maybe we'll take over the so the conversation here at the moment. I guess. Grinner, go have a. I think your smoke's nearly out. Better get another one lit up.
Yeah, I thought that was going pretty well, but I could take a hit. Yeah, I'd just wander off to the cat.
As you start to wander, Grinner, Gunther goes, "Hang on a minute." He reaches in, pulls out a little pack of cigarettes, pulls one out and hands it to you and goes, "Don't hit me. You can have a cigarette if you don't hit me. Okay?"
Oh, now see, that's a deal I can get. But look at this, lads. I'm a merchant.
No, I approach you with the deal. Oh,
Yeah.
do you need
There
a
was
light?
a lot of mustard on the chint there.
Go over there, smoke a cigarette. Don't threaten me or my customers, okay?
Well,
Please.
we are your customers, so I'm not going to threaten us. But I'm
It's not
going to
just
grab.
you. Other people come through here. It's not just you fuckers.
Look, all right. You know what? It's fair. I'm sorry. You did deserve that. It's just been a day. You know. Yeah. All right. Bye.
Enjoy your
Just
cigarette.
gonna wander off.
Right. Well, Mr. Gunther, how much did this boy pay you to keep the secret? And how much would we have to pay you to?
Well, the thing is, right, I'm happy to share this for not as much because the little fucker still owes me some gold that he has not paid me. So I'm in a position where I think it's been long enough that I've been trying to chase him for this gold and he has not given it to me. So I am of the opinion that, like, absolutely fuck him. So here's what you need to know. If you have 2 gold on you, I will tell you everything you need to know about this little shit.
I just get that straight out for him. Just
Great.
100%.
He takes the 2 gold and goes, "Look, to be honest, you could have probably haggled me down to 1. Here's the situation. Victor,
It's more than reasonable. Reasonable man.
a couple of weeks ago, Victor came to me. He was interested in books of magic, said he had been practicing magic of his own, but couldn't quite get it to work. He wanted to know if I knew where to get any tomes. I told him there was an old wizard tower not too far from the large manor that our fair ruler resides in, and I told him that I could probably procure some books from there. I sent a few men to go and get some. Only one of them returned, but came back with some interesting books that he had got from there. The books had a lot of information on all sorts of stuff, but most of it seemed to be on, like, teleportation magic, and, like, transporting magic. I don't know much about magic, I couldn't tell you much more about it. But there was also a book that seemed to have, like, some pretty dark shit in it. Like, I'm talking some weird fucking curses. There was one person whose, like, whole head was a spider, and, like, all of their hair had become, like, legs of a spider. That kept me up for nights. You don't look horrified enough. Like, when you see this picture, you will shit yourself. It is terrifying. Anyway, after my night terrors had subsided, I was able to look through some of the other parts of the book. I wasn't sure if I wanted to give this to him, yeah? So I spoke to him, told him that I had got, like, most of the books he was after, and then this extra book. And as soon as I mentioned this other book, he got very excited. Told me it was probably full of lots of, like, very powerful magic. And if I told no one about this, he would pay me extra gold. And if I gave him the book, he would pay me extra gold as well. Especially not to tell his father.
Okay.
And that's everything. I gave him the books. He said he'd give me all the money. He didn't. Little shit. Said he had more money to give me. I gave him 3 days to give me the extra money. It has now been like 6 weeks.
How much money was he paying for these books?
Oh, so the 2 books that he actually wanted, like, originally, that were on, like, transportation, teleportation magic, 10 gold each. They're quite expensive books. Well, also because I lost some people who were, like, going to get them. They died.
Yep. Well, they're only worth like 5 gold each anyway.
Well, I told him that they had families that I would have to support, but that was a lie. I don't know who those guys were. First time I had them.
Yeah, we've also explored the going rate for, people.
Children
That
specifically.
is really quite a scary thing that you just said to
You're
me.
telling me. It was
No,
about
it's-
me.
Very
Oh, God.
normal back where you're from.
Yeah, so after that, when I told him about the other book, I told him it would cost him 30 gold pieces for the book and my silence. He paid me 20.
So actually, on
That
that
wanker.
note, if we were to find any books, if we went into any particular towers or find anything else you're interested, do we sell it to you?
Oh, yeah, but not for the amount I sold it for him. You got to understand, I talked up the price a bit to like make him pay, because I know his family's rich and all, so I thought he could afford it.
Oh,
But I'd probably buy them back and try and sell them on for a bit of a profit. Otherwise, if any of your spellcasters and you know how to use magic and things like that, maybe you could have use of it yourself. I mean, look, I don't give a shit. If you wanted to hold on to it, get your use out of it, and come back and try and sell it to me, I'll buy it off you and try and sell it for a profit. Otherwise, if you come across anyone else, you can try and sell it to them. Doesn't worry me. I'm not interested in the dark book, though, the book on like weird curses with the spider head. I'm kept up enough at night with all the horrors I have seen without having to open that book again or like even bother to think about it.
What horrors?
Teleportation book. You going?
Do you know what it's like?
Your question's probably more relevant. We can go with yours.
That teleportation book. Did you say that did get sold to him, or is that still?
Yeah, I bought that. Yep. Yeah, absolutely, I bought that. Yeah, both books. One book sort of focusing on like teleportation magic, and the other one that was focused on like called itself like planar magic.
Yeah, do you actually remember the names at all, Gunther?
Oh,
The names of the book?
the names. I might have them written down in my ledger, possibly. Do you want me to go have a look?
Yes, please. That would be
Yeah,
great.
Does
I'll be right back.
5 silver help? Recall your memory.
Sure. Jonas, you hand over 5 silver.
Yeah. Oh, I'll
This is
pay
why
you
Mr.
more.
Grinner calls you a nerd.
Jonah, hand over 5 silver. He goes, wait, look, I'll walk a little bit quicker now. Wanders back over to the shop front and heads on inside. It doesn't take him long to step back out again, holding a large leather-bound tome. As he's flicking through, he goes, oh, yeah, here we go. The first one was transportalating magic. And then there was like a series of symbols underneath I didn't recognize. I've written down my best guess of them here. And as he shows you the book, Jonor, you can see he's done his best to draw arcane symbols. They're shit. It does not tell you anything. Like, he's tried to draw probably some sort of symbol you think is maybe some sort of like ward that's on the book, but he's drawn an eye, like a circle with a dot in the middle. And you know for a fact that the beginning of the arcane ward symbol, it's a very long, flowing, deliberate, like spiral. But clearly he just gave up partway through and just did a circle and did a dot. Like, he gave it his best go, but clearly this man's a busy man. And the other book was talking about the spheres of the astral space. That's what I've written here.
what the fuck's that?
Well, I don't know. That's why I wrote it down.
Jonor, what is that?
My gut feel on that. Can I? Do I recognize that or?
Oh, Jonor, you know that astral space is the realm that connects the plane that connects all other planes. That you would know that Nostea, your home plane or your home planet, is a sphere. It's pretty easy to prove that with pretty basic science, an understanding of how the world works. The plane is a sphere. All around it is the astral space, this vast plane that connects all other planes of existence. You can travel through the astral space physically. There's stories of crafts having been designed to travel through the astral space, but planar magic and traveling directly through the different planes has been very hard on Nostea for a very long time, since the giants vanished and since their technology failed. It's basically took out all planar travel to and from Nostea for a very long time. Only rare instances where it was broken. The Feywild is one of the ones that was able to break through on occasion, mostly to deposit chaos onto Nostea, as the Fey often like to do. But you know that, yeah, for a very long time, Nostea has been kind of locked out of planar travel. If you were able to get this book back to Nostea, this could be an entire career for you in the Unseen University of Oxenfurt. If you were able to crack planar travel, or take credit for someone else cracking planar travel in a book and able to bring that back, you would be the Arch-Chancellor of the Unseen University in maybe 2 or 3 years. Like, this would make you unbelievably rich and famous if you were able to get this knowledge back to Nostea. Because since the giants vanished, it's been impossible. The fact that you guys are here in this demi-plane is already a bit bizarre. Like, that shouldn't really be happening.
Yeah, Grinner, so spheres of astral space, imagine spheres are like, our planet, and then astral space is how to get from planet to planet. It's like, the astral space is a road, and spheres are cities, and it's how you travel from one city to the other one, is roughly what this book is about, but it's the universe.
That was a brilliant metaphor for Grinner to understand. That was awesome.
How does that turn people into cats?
Oh, that's the other book. We got one on. Yeah. Sorry, I'll
turn people into cats. Hang on, is that cat the person?
Maybe. Well, I think it's part of a person.
So, which part of a person? Oh, this is going to haunt my dreams forever. I'm not going to wake up.
I think he might be fucking with you just a little bit.
Don't think about the spider.
I'm thinking about the spider.
No, don't
let's
think
go
about
about it. The more you tell me not to think about it, the more I think about the legs. Oh, the way they curled around under the chin. Oh, one of them was up the nose.
The hairy legs.
Oh, they were literally hairy legs. Oh, made of hair. It's so bad.
Oh, it was like a hat, was it?
No. The person's whole face and head had been transformed into like a spider that was still attached by like the neck. It was horrifying.
Right. I feel like that would make life a bit tricky.
Yeah. He just nods, looking a bit haunted. Yeah, just a bit.
Grinner, grab that cat and we'll take it back home.
Yeah, all right. Grinner very gently picks up the cat.
It's still in the cage, Grinner, as you pick up the crate. It's essentially just like a medium-sized crate, probably a meter long and about 50 centimeters high. Just pick up the crate. Cat's in there, sort of looks up at you, curls back up into the cloth.
Yeah, right, well that was a lot easier than I thought it would be. One down.
8 to go. Well,
You
7
then
to go,
watch
which is we already
as
had
the cat's
to
head slowly starts to grow 8 legs as pincers emerge from inside. No, none of that happens.
So Grinner just yeets the cage as
That's going to be Gunther's dream tonight, as the cat slowly transforms into a spider head, and then a human hand like crawls out and begins like grabbing at his face. That's Gunther's nightmare tonight. Yeah, and yours too now. You're welcome.
Thanks, Owen.
No worries, guys.
share and enjoy.
Is there anything else you guys need from me? Anything else you want?
This is all Gunther. I head back outside.
If you're going to go talk to Victor, you can tell him he still owes me money.
We will try to we'll inform him of this, yes.
Can I ask for one last favor, please, as we leave? Can you call us a bunch of fucking wankers?
You're all a bunch of fucking wankers?
Yay!
What? Why?
It just sounds funny when he says it. He's got a funny. I don't want to. Look, it's just funny. He sounds funny. He talks different to us. Okay. He sounds funny.
Usher.
Is that not okay?
Out the door.
Is that not a
Let's
thing?
walk. Let's start walking.
So called an accent, you fucking wanker.
Now that we have learned all this, what do we think is the best move? Do we investigate this on further, try and get these books, or just I don't know, kill us if possible?
Yeah, I'm down for that. But I mean, we should probably have a chat with him first, though, right? Like find out what's going on.
Well, I think we should also talk to the son. Start there.
All right,
I think let's chat to the son. I think that it sounds like a very interesting conversation.
Perhaps he will know something about his father we could use to discredit or murder him with.
So we've all decided, right, that we're not gonna kill the son. We're not gonna hit him.
Well, I mean, it depends on how much of a douche he ends up being.
I'm sorry. We're not going to kill anyone if we don't have to. Remember?
Well, I mean, on a scale of 0 to Raspip, if he's a Raspip level of douche, he may have to die.
We didn't kill Raspip
immediately. Well, no, we tried.
We could have. We will one day. One day we will kill the Raspip.
I don't feel comfortable with this. I thought we were just gonna like try and help people and do some stuff, and now we're just like casually talking about, hey, we're gonna kill that person.
Well,
we just murdered an old woman and her like half her family.
No, but she attacked us first. That was
No, she really did not.
Well, I don't. What?
It's true.
She really did not
did.
attack us first.
Well, I don't remember. I was a bit scared at the time. I'm not sure if you remember.
It's important to note, right, that this bloke that we are thinking about maybe topping, right? He's not a good bloke, right? Like he just kind of.
But shouldn't
He makes
there
people
be some-
smile. He puts you in jail. He got Tithla to throw rubbish at you.
Okay, let's move on. Shouldn't there be some sort of system where everyone gets to sort of decide what should happen?
Yeah, we're
based
doing
on-
that right now.
Mate, but we're like new here. Aren't there people who live here who should have some say? I don't know. What's the word for like people who are like the same in the area of you? Peers.
Well,
Shouldn't there be some peers that help decide this? We're not from here. We're not peers.
Well,
I know.
the priest himself, the nicest man in the town, said the Baron Vargas Valakovich was a total teabag.
that's right. He practically declared us to be judge, jury, and executioner.
Oh God.
I just think that we're on a slippery slope here. We were
more
making
of a
jokes
bit.
about killing people earlier, and now
Look,
now we're actually going to be doing it.
I want to throw my 2 cents in. I stand behind Tithla. So, unfortunately, the Walker Manor incident was most regrettable. The sort of look off.
It sounds like you're reading like a script, like a hostage script. The Walker incident, like you're a politician called to account for their actions. The Walker incident was most regrettable. We stand with the
I did
families
not
at
have
this time.
sexual relations
Yeah.
with that woman.
Oh, thank God. At least that's something.
Definitely.
If only there was
didn't
something
cross.
we could do to stop this, but there's not. Nothing we could have done. Tried our best.
So, but I throw my support behind Tithla. I agree with what she's saying. Just unfortunate of the past circumstances.
Yeah, look, don't get me wrong. I do think it's important that we don't go around just killing people willy-nilly, but given this bloke's track record, right? Like, get rid of the fucking idiot.
But we
And-
can. Please
Who's
don't
going to
know.
replace him?
Well, that's not my problem.
Well,
we're
Ismark,
literally we're talking about that in the church,
Yeah.
weren't we?
yeah.
We have Izzy. He will take over, and he's a nice boy.
Who's that?
He's a good boy.
Ismark,
Ismark, he's a good boy.
the really quiet guy who was like pretty good at stabbing the oven in the bakery.
Oh, right, yeah.
Okay, can we
Yeah.
not bring up the oven? That is also too soon. Some of us still are mortally wounded from that thing.
If we could get through a fight without Tithla getting either physically or mentally scarred, that'd be great.
Actually, it's become a trend at the moment, hasn't it?
Yeah, I don't like it. It's not good.
We've had some really bad physical and mental breakdowns.
All right, let's go find this kid.
Let's go find the victor.
The victim.
Yes, let's
All right.
let's no. Let's go meet Victor without assuming he'll become a victim right off the bat.
All right.
I'll agree to that.
Okay.
I think we should preface this: we only kill when necessary.
So,
Yeah.
my question is, how are you guys going to locate Victor? Are you
We're
heading
just gonna go to Victor.
Just going to go to the manor.
Yeah.
Yep.
So he's
No,
in the
just-
manor.
just to Victor.
He's
What was that? Sorry, Jacob?
Just straight to Victor,
Okay.
wherever he is.
So where do you go?
Well, you know where he is, so
Yeah, we go
Oh,
to
but that's
the-
not necessary. That's irrelevant.
I would like to cast Find Victor.
Oh, okay. So yeah.
the spell is find victim.
Victim.
Ah.
no.
You use the Ring of Grimmeria though. You could change it to find Victor. Favorite magic item. I mean, yeah. Do you want to ask Gunther? Like, where?
Is Mr. Gunsel, where does the Baron and the Victor live?
Oh, you're really like right close to it. It's just a little bit down the way from where you are. If you just keep going down a little bit, so up the main street, take a left, and then another left, you'll be there in no time.
If you perhaps had a large map of the town, would you make a small pinging symbol on the location?
Yeah, of course.
Very
If
good.
you want to head down the main street at the Blue Water Inn, and then as you get to the Blue Water Inn, take your next left down a small side street. It opens up into a larger place. You'll know where you are straight away. It's hard to miss. It's on the other side of the street to Blinsky's toys.
Honestly, Gunther, I'm sorry we threatened you. You honestly seem like possibly the most reasonable person in this crazy town. I'm sorry we threatened you, and I'm sorry we were affiliated with the craft gnome.
Oh, apology, absolutely accepted. Just don't spend it around that I'm reasonable. I have a bit of a reputation around here that if you want things from me, you're going to have lots of gold. I like that unreasonable expectation. Makes people come with lots of gold for things that I want. I don't have to work as hard to haggle.
I will keep the reputation in mind.
Thank you.
Out of game, everyone.
Yep.
Don't we have a bunch of stuff that we actually need to sell?
Yeah, I have I have 2 rings worth 25 GP, a black eye patch worth 80 GP, and a topaz necklace worth 25 GP.
Yeah,
And
you
that's
can just
like
trade that for
also-
gold. Just take them off.
Because we've also-
Gunther will pay that amount for them. Yep.
Because we've also got the goblets,
Yep.
a big ruby, 20 GP cups. That's what I wrote.
Real
Yeah.
quick, benefit of being Tithla, doesn't pick it up. That's all you guys.
Yeah.
So Gunther, like the prices you've got there is the value that like merchants will pay for them. Gunther will absolutely give you the gold equivalent for those items. So you can take them out and then just
Nice.
add the gold. Gunther will just go, yeah, I will take that. That is nice. Oh, that eye patch is kind of good. Does it look good on me? He puts it on. Do I look
it's
like
very
I'm more threatening?
Oh, looks great. I think
It has a
it's really
flower
gonna-
on it, so not really.
Don't tell him.
Oh,
Don't
no.
say nothing.
I'll take it off. I'll try and sell it then. You 80 gold pieces for this.
That's, well, 100%. That seems very reasonable. In
I'm
fact,
looking over,
exactly
like,
what
these
I was
gems.
told it was.
I'm thinking what I'll do is I'll pick these gems off and sell them separately. I'm not going to sell it
I
as
have
one patch.
I have an ornate light crossbow from the manor that we first went into.
Yes, yeah. Did he give you a
That
price for
says-
that at the time? Or did I give you a price for that at the time?
Well, it says 25. I think it says like 25 GP in the D&D Beyond, but I think that's just for like a regular light
Just
crossbow.
a normal crossbow. For an 8-1, Gunther looks over and goes, oh, this is quite a nice piece. I mean, if you didn't want to keep this, I would pay you 30 gold pieces for this. It's a
That's,
very
uh,
nice piece. The string is very, very nice. You sure you don't want to keep this?
No, I'll take that. That's all
Oh,
good.
great
I've
deal.
got,
Here's 30 gold
yeah.
pieces.
he sees like because I've got like the pistol strapped, but I've also still
Yeah.
got just a heavy crossbow strapped to my back as well, just in case
Yeah.
I ever need it.
Well, also, it's a
For
kind of
warmth.
good distraction because people are going to notice the big heavy crossbow and maybe not notice the pistol or the fire hand until you
Yeah.
suddenly whip it out.
Well,
So
the crossbow is also good as more of a stealth sort of.
Yeah.
approach.
The fire hand not so stealthy. I'm pretty sure it's like a loud boom that can be heard up to like 200 feet away from
It's
you.
just so satisfying.
It is satisfying. Yeah, that's
Well,
a
it's
lovely crossbow. I'd pay 30 gold pieces for that, sure.
Perfect.
This is great. I like we've almost like completely like wiped the ledger for all the gold that you've given me. You've now given me items. I've given you the gold back. It's like we're like net neutral. I've got stuff I can like upsell for lots of money, and you've got your gold back.
Wonderful.
Like a perfect,
all right, so from the
perfect
stats-
working relationship. If you find any other things that you can like acquire and you like, I should ask, do any of these like, do I need to be careful with who I sell these things to, or are these all from places and people who won't notice if I like sell them?
No, these are all pretty good.
Sweet. That makes it so much easier. If you ever do find things that are not so sweet to like pass on, just let me know. I'll get rid of them discreetly.
Can I just retcon really briefly and say that instead of watching these guys sell things, I've taken the cat back to the manor so that we don't have to carry a cat around?
Sure,
good.
that's brilliant. As you get back, you pass another guard like trying to climb under a house, underneath the edge of a house. Yeah, push.
Oh, brilliant. I'm just going to give him the cat in the cage so that way they've got a cage now too.
Brilliant. Oh, that's fantastic. Oh, this is great. I could put so many cats in here. Hey, look, I'm gonna be honest. Is this one of the cats? As he like looks under the house.
Yeah, push.
The cat moves further away. It does look like it could be one of the cats, Grinner.
Yeah, that's one of them, mate. You're going to have to go for a crawl.
Fuck. He like takes his helmet off. Can you watch this stuff for a moment while I get underneath the?
Yeah, what's he left behind?
a helmet, and a breastplate, which he takes off.
Well, does the breastplate have any insignia or anything on it?
Yeah, it's got the insignia of the Wachter House. this large insignia made out of a very tall, almost what looks like a manor on a shield, with this very like dark overhanging tree behind.
As he crawls under and starts chasing the cat, I'm just going to casually ask, did you pay for this, or did they come and give that to you as part of the guard outfit?
Oh, it's taken out of my wages for the first few weeks. I got a little bit less, but now I've paid it off. It's mine now.
Oh, well, fuck that. I feel bad. All right.
Why do you feel bad? Just see his legs emerging. You just. And he's like, fuck! And as he comes back out, he's trying to hold this cat. You can see there's these like dark, red, bloody scratches down both his arms as the cat's like spinning away, trying to get away, and he like slams into the cage and closes it and looks up at you. You can see this one dark claw mark down that's slowly pulling this blood. He goes, I hate cats. I really hate cats.
You're going to have to get that checked out too, mate. There's people that I know that have died of cat
stinks.
Oh. Yeah. All right, fuck off. We're done here.
Okay, bye. You start walking back to the rest of the group. You get back as they finish up with Gunther. Perfect timing.
So how much money do we make overall from the Wachter? Because some of that was your personal stuff, so...
Oh, not so much personal, it was loot we found in the Durst Manor.
Okay. So do you want to... So we're just putting it all in one total, just divvying it up?
I got the 155 that I put it in mine and I'll just buy people stuff as they need it, but if you want to divvy it up evenly, I'm happy to do that too.
Oh, I'm not too fast. We can keep it in the bag then, I guess.
For whatever it's worth, Tithla doesn't even look to ask for any of it.
While like these guys are getting through stuff and pulling it out, Gunther will like put the eye patch on you, Tithla, and go, that actually looks quite fetching on you. You can't keep it. I'm going to sell this now for loads of gold.
No, that's okay. But I am quite fetching, so that makes sense.
Once I've pulled all the gemstones out, do you want the eye patch back?
Okay. I mean, you can just trust me.
No, I want the gemstones, but you can keep the eye patch. Give me a minute. And he goes in, gets a knife, cuts off half the eye patch, like the top half to get all the gemstones out, and then hands you like a scrappy eye patch. Here you go. You can have this.
Oh my god, this is the greatest gift I've had all day!
I would believe that all day. I thought that sentence was going elsewhere, and I was very worried about your parents and who actually. He like looks around and sort of pauses for a second and goes, I'm not going to even touch that.
We are not
business.
responsible guardians.
Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
It's been a tough day.
Yeah, no worries. That'll be 3 silver pieces.
No, sorry. If I could just finish what I'm saying. I just really appreciate it. It's not every day that you have someone who's willing to give you something that can partially obscure your vision just from the goodness of their heart. It just means a lot.
Can I crouch down in front of Tithla and just shift the eye patch over her mouth?
I really got.
That's
Oh, that got me. Because I'm like picturing it very vividly in my mind. That's good. They're just sort of like nods, goes like, that's better. That's good.
Yeah, that works well. All right.
It's a multi-purpose eye patch. Maybe I shouldn't give this to you. I could like sell it for like multifunction.
She takes it off. Okay, you can have
it.
No,
I'm kidding. No, keep it. No, it's a present. You can't take back.
I should have known a gift this nice was too good to
I'd have to be a
receive.
total wanker to take back a present.
Exactly.
I'm not a total wanker. I'm not taking it
Okay,
back.
thank you.
Well, it's been a pleasure doing business with you. If you ever come across goods that you need to get rid of, either legitimately or illegitimately, remember to come to Gunther Arisex's dockyard. I'll get rid of all things that you need cleared. Gold.
Thank you.
On delivery.
Actually, do you think you might be able to have a look at this?
Yeah.
And she pulls out the jade brooch that Damo gave her.
Oh, it's a really nice piece. Looks to be from here. Looks to be rather old. It's been around for a while. I'm just looking at the insignias on it. He's gonna roll an investigation check.
Oh.
Yeah, this is a really nice piece. I could probably offer you bit of gold for this, if you're willing to part with it.
Oh, I was sort of just wondering some information. I don't want to sell it. It came from somebody I knew.
Okay. Well, it's very old.
Dear Lord.
If you look at the back here, it looks like there was once like a marking here, the person who created it, but it's worn away. The jade itself is quite nice. It looks like it's probably from maybe south, maybe towards the south of here. I'd say there's an old mine where they used to mine gemstones and things like that, and jade was often mined there, but not for a very, very long time. But it looks like it's been here for a while. This has been around a while. This is very old.
Okay.
Probably belonged to a family. Did you get it from a family? Is this from the Raptors?
No. I got this. Now, this is going to sound like a lie, but it's not. I got it from a stranger on the road.
Yeah, I mean, I don't need to know who you pickpocketed or who you took it from. I don't care.
No, he gave it to me. I promise.
Look, I often find that when people leave things in pockets unguarded, it's the same as them just asking for you to take it.
Okay. Good thought. We were making some good strides here.
Look,
Does it mean anything?
I mean, I would be very surprised if this wasn't a treasured family heirloom. Like, given how old it is, it has been looked after very well. I mean, this would probably be worth about 100 gold pieces. Easily.
Okay.
Especially to the right buyer.
Okay. Thank you very much. I guess I'll keep it safe.
No problem. If you ever do change your mind, want to sell it on, I would be interested in buying it, definitely.
Do you traffic in these sort of things much?
I traffic in anything that can be bought and sold for money. I really like... Oh, you go.
Have you sold or bought many of these sort of things recently? Or before?
No. Not recently at all. It's been a while since I've seen a piece this nice. Most pieces like this that belong to families are kept in families for a reason. They're very precious items. Maybe every so often when a family or a house gets destroyed by undead or by the Baron, sometimes he gets a bit crazy and the people aren't smiling enough. He goes and takes them all prisoner and sells all their stuff. Sometimes there's some stuff that comes through that is pretty good. It looks somewhat similar to some stuff that came out of the village of Barovia maybe about 5-6 years ago.
Okay. And you can't tell what family it was beyond that it came from here?
No, it's normally they're marked with a family crest if there's something of importance to the family, but I can't see any family crest here.
Okay.
I think after this much... Oh, sorry, go on. Sorry.
No, go.
After this much discussion, I think a Jonor would take an interest in that object and is going to identify that at some point in time later.
Well, if you come over and show interest, he'll say, "Oh, did you want to have a look?"
Yeah, I'll grab a look at this and tell you what it is a little bit later when we get some downtime.
Oh, okay.
Let's go talk to the Victor.
Yeah, just one, I've got one last question for Goodford though before we disappear, mate. If you know most of the people in this town, right?
I know everybody in this town.
Yeah. So if you had all the people in the town get together into a big group, and you're
talking about the mob.
Yeah. Well, no, not a mob. Just a group of people. They're not cranky.
Sure. Most people in this place are very cranky all the time. If they ever gather, it's because they're a mob, or because they're being forced to smile at one of these insane, stupid fucking fates that the mayor puts on.
Yeah, so on that note, if the mayor happened to be standing in the middle of this group and no one was there to protect him, what would happen to him?
Oh, it depends. It's very rare that there's no one there to protect him. Strictly speaking, hypothetical. If he was in the middle of a group of people and he was not protected by his guards and he was telling people to smile or he would put them in jail, I don't think he'd be around much longer. I think something mysterious would happen in the crowd, and then as these guards came to find him, where would he be? He'd be gone. Strange.
Alright, that's good to know.
I can tell you right now that if something were to happen to him in amongst the crowd and there were not his guards there, no one would have seen anything, if you get my drift.
No, but that's alright.
No one would be there to make any statements to the guards or dob on anyone else. There'd be no witnesses, if you know what I mean.
But what about all the people that are there, though?
Well, that's
they would not have seen anything interesting, I promise. None of them would have seen. They would have all been looking at something else right at the moment.
So would there have been a play on or something that they were all looking at?
Probably. They would all be being distracted by something right at the same time. And he gives you another wink.
all them guards, right? Who?
Yeah.
Why do they help him?
Some of them he pays a lot. Some of them have been in the family for a long time. Some of them are scared of him. Others go along with it because he's the only authority that they'd see, and they don't want to work for the Walkers because Walkers might not be a problem anymore. This might not be a good thing, actually. The Walkers kind of kept him in check a little bit. Might not be great that they're gone now.
So what you're saying is a little bit of mob justice would not go astray.
I would have no opinion on such a thing for any, reports that would be made to anyone who could get back to the Baron. I would have no opinion on that, just in case it were to get somewhere.
All right.
But he's not good for business. He taxes me too much. If he were to go and his taxes no longer be applied to my work, I would not be sad. That would be more money for me.
Good. All right. So we'll let him know that you're complaining about the taxes.
I'd really prefer you did not, because
I'm joking. I won't.
He'll
do
jail
it,
me.
so.
He'll jail me if he finds out I'm complaining.
No, it's fine. We'll go kill him for you.
I've got some new feeding techniques. I could help give you some food. I need to practice some new ways. So if you were in the stocks, I could try and help.
I'm hoping to avoid the stocks, if that's okay. I'd rather not get in the stocks. No one has fun in the stocks. It's not fun. I've seen family members throw shit at each other in the stocks.
Who would
Very
do
close
that?
friends, perhaps. Also,
Yeah.
might be
No,
yeah.
absolutely. Especially when the
sure
Baron is around.
I'm sure all those family members, feel really bad and have learnt the error of their ways.
You'd want to fucking hope so, would you?
I would personally want to think so.
No, the Baron's created the place, a mood here that is very, very bad for people who join together. Everyone is will tell on each other. People, they are told to look out for each other. There's this whole feeling of fear, everyone around here is scared of being caught not being happy when the Baron's around, and so they're encouraged to spy on their neighbors and report people not being happy, and they sort of turned people against each other.
So what you're saying is he's a bit of a bad run.
I see what you did there.
He's a bad red.
He's a bit of a wanker, yeah. He's a Baron, but he's a bad Baron, is what your friend is trying to say.
He's a bad, oh, fuck, I'm clever. Alright.
It was a pretty good pun, I have to say. It's the dad pun.
You don't have to.
I chose to. That was a pretty good pun. I chose to say.
Good to know. Hey, can we leave now?
Yes, please. Let us get out of here.
Okay,
I've got to do a stock take. If you don't get
you
those
said there were
books,
other customers here.
I said there might be other customers here. I just didn't want any of those other customers to be scared off by the scary man with the big cigarette, looking at people with his throat all cut up.
By the way, you look at the cigarette and it's a dog end again.
How did you smoke that so quick? I did nothing. Any cigarette within Grinner's vicinity immediately becomes a dog end, but then stays that way kind of indefinitely.
They're infinite, but always dog end.
Yeah, he's like Nobby from the Discworld series. Any cigarette immediately becomes a dog end, but then stays that way forever. You never know how long they last. Good luck. If you're going to be visiting the Baron or talking to his son, you'll have to go to his house. And people go through there all the time.
Is that where Victor will be right now?
Oh, probably. Where he spends most of his time. He doesn't go outside very much.
And if we knock on the door, what would happen?
Depends. If you were there to see Victor specifically, I'm not sure.
Hypothetically.
Not many people go there to see Victor. I don't think anyone would go there to see Victor. Maybe they would let you in just as a novelty.
Maybe just one of us should go and talk to Victor, so it doesn't seem like there's 5 random people going to talk to the son of the person who runs the place.
The ones who out of all of us who here, sort of.
I think I'd have something in common with him.
Yeah, there we go. That's what I was getting at. Tithla, by all means, a thing or two, but Jonor
You're right.
loves his books.
You're right. I don't like books.
Do you think that the main man in charge would be happy or unhappy about the state of the Wachter household right now?
Oh, he'd be very happy to find out if something bad had happened to the Wachters. I'll tell you that. He would be ecstatic.
Jonor
If we
goes
happen to have a hand in that, we might get paid.
we go talk to him, say we took care of a problem for him because he seems like such a good Baron.
That's
Have a chat with him, get a reward.
Meanwhile, Jonor has a chat with the victim.
The dude's as crazy. The dude's as crazy as a bat in daytime. Like, he could be very happy with you, or he could like just turn on you and say, like, blame you for it. Because probably if something has happened to the walkers, people will think it was him. And so if he can scapegoat somebody else, he could very easily just turn on that person. There's no guarantee that, like, seriously, this dude he's just insane. He's very, very cracked.
Okay, probably a better deal.
The less you can interact with the Baron, with the Baron Vargas, the better it will be.
Maybe we'll have more idea after Jonor talks to Vic.
Whenever that would be, perhaps one session we will get to there, but
I don't know. They both seem
I think we need
Why do you divide
to
your day into sessions? That's a weird way to like refer to it.
Well, how else would you? It's like activities. You know, you have one session of this, one session of that. Like we've had a session of cat herding.
Why are you herding cats? That seems like the self-defeating exercise.
Well, we
wanna
think
know?
it might be a person.
It'll cost money.
Oh, shit.
You already mentioned that you think they're parts of a person. Like, it's not much for me to assume that if one cat is part of a person, then more
Well, I'm
cats
sorry,
will be
I
the
don't
other
remember
parts.
everything that we say to you, okay, Gunther?
I think Gunther's had enough of that time, I guess.
Yeah, can we go?
All you have to do is just say you're leaving.
Alright, we're leaving.
Right. As you guys walk
and we
away.
came back.
Actually,
keep-
one
you
last
came
thing I'd
back
like to talk to
4
Gunther about.
Yeah. Oh, you had one more thing you wanted to say.
No, it's
As
okay.
you
I'll
as
do
you
another
begin
time.
heading back out and head down the main road towards the Vargas household, is there anything I should know, or are you just going to head to the Vargas household and
I've actually
basically-
got something I want to show Gunther. If
Yeah.
you could just swing back.
Sure.
No,
Yeah.
shut up.
Sure.
No, it's done.
I quite enjoy doing Gunther's voice. It doesn't hurt my throat. It's an easy one for me to do, and I've got an easy like reference material to pull it up whenever I need. So I'm
What
happy
is
to
that?
jump
What's
into
your
Gunther's
reference
voice.
material? That's great.
Ah, yeah. For Formula One fans, it's Gunther Steiner from the Haas F1 team. Obviously. No, it's an easy one for me to do, so I'm more than happy to jump into Gunther's voice whenever you want. There's other voices that are not so easy that I will be less keen on jumping into.
Which ones are they? Let's get
Which ones do I
them.
not like? Actually, I don't know if there's any in this one. It's mostly, I think it's mostly Return of the Giants. There's been one that's particularly hard on my vocal cords.
Are we straight to Victor?
Straight to the victim.
Wait, what?
You can't keep saying that. One minute
Can I
count.
will.
Oh my god. Maybe I should call this session Victim Victor. Maybe that's the next one.
Victim.
This one was family herding cats.
Herding
Yeah.
cats, yeah.
This is no.
Should we check on how the
Better
cats are
explanation.
going
Not
first? I feel
nowhere.
like it's been an hour.
We've gone absolutely nowhere.
No, maybe we'll leave the cat.
An hour and 45 minutes, and we've walked down a street, gotten inside the cage.
To be fair, though, you've learnt a lot about
We
what's
We
going on.
have.
And you've got
Yes.
a really solid plan, which is not what you had for the last 20 sessions. So it's nice to see some solid planning going on.
Alright.
I mean, it'll get thrown out the window the second you arrive, and Tithla runs up and
true.
goes, "Victor, I'm your new bride. I've come to marry you, Victor. Let me in
Which
the
runs
manor."
up and says, "Victim."
yeah.
Alright, instead
Oh
of
my
buying the John, how about we sell Tithla to the
Hey.
Wait, what?
to
Wait,
the
what?
Vargas family?
Wait, what?
That's on you guys. I'm not
Merit.
part of this conversation. Don't look at me.
Jonor? Any input?
These
Really
stairs.
buys you to yourself.
We were on a break. That's how equivalent is Jonor saying, "It was a scholarship." As you arrive at the front of the Valaki household, I will describe the manor.
Please do.
It is a large 3-story building. The mansion has walls of plastered stone that display many areas of almost what looks like scarring or damage where the plaster has fallen away, probably from a combination of age and partial neglect. The large windows that are set into the walls are covered by these thick velvety drapes of a dark blue or purple. There's also a large arched opening above the mansion's double entrance doors. This very ornately carved wooden double door with a large archway above it. The curtains above the large archway are open just a sliver, revealing a large vaulted ceiling inside and a staircase heading up towards what looks to be attic rooms. In fact, as you look up towards the roof, you can see a few windows set into the roof itself, almost inset on an angle, but again, heavily covered with curtains. Looking at the front of the manor, there is a very small garden, only probably about sort of like 10, 12 meters long and about 5 meters wide, and the front entrance is filled with a number of people coming and going from the front of the manor, closely watched by a set of 6 guards, 2 on the main thoroughfare, 2 on the corners of the building, and 2 set up right at the front door. It looks like the construction of a giant wicker sun is currently taking place. A number of villagers and staff from the manor are emerging out the front of the double doors to assemble this massive wicker arch, and well, probably what will be a ring upon completion, but a massive wicker arch filled with wood, twigs, and branches being assembled to form this enormous, probably 20-meter diameter wreath. And you can see people coming and going, often with large yellow and red streamers that they're tying around to help keep all of the twigs and sticks together, and people coming from the main gates as well from towards the north. Overseeing all of this is a familiar figure. All of you have seen Vargas before. A rather gaunt-looking man, roughly sort of, I'd say like 5'7", 5'8", dressed in long flowing red robes. His long hair that is receding, leaving this very massive forehead tied back in this loose bun, as he looks over with this insane smile plastered across his face and occasionally reminding people, "Smiles go for miles," as he looks around at people who aren't smiling while they work. 2 of the guards next to him have a rictus grin plastered on their face as well, almost as if their face has frozen in place, this large pained smile. Every time the Baron turns around and sees them, it seems to imbue him with strength and power. Yeah, that's a good one, House. That's about right. It seems to imbue him with strength and power as he does another beaming smile. Goes, "Ah, wonderful! So much cheer! It almost warms my heart to see so people glad. Oh, ho, ho." As you approach down the road, not being too discreet, but not sort of standing out too much, as there are many people coming and going, the Baron doesn't seem to react to your presence or even really notice you. His attention fixed on the wreath as he calls out to the group, "Please hurry! The festival will be starting soon. We need to make sure all the wreaths are ready. I want to be able to have a big blazing sun over the town for when we have our festival. Remember, cheer drives away fear," as he calls out, and there's this echoing cry, "Cheer drives away fear," from people around as they continue working.
Just before we would have gotten within, like, proper looking distance of these guys, given we're sending in Jonor alone to go talk to the victim, I'd like to go roach form and just like pop into like on his shoulder or in his pocket, so I can, in case anything goes pear-shaped, he's got another guy on hand.
Yeah, it's interesting you always keep going for cockroach, but sure.
Roach.
As you turn into a roach and climb onto Jonor's shoulder, like burrowing away into his hood. Actually, Jonor, you've got a large blue scarf. Yeah, it tickles a little bit.
Little lapel roach.
Yeah, I mean, I was just thinking, your artwork, actually, you've got a really, like, big layered scarf. It's very easy for Theodore to secrete himself into the folds of your scarf, but still sort of have your head poking out enough that you can kind of see a little bit of what's going on around you, Theodore.
Could conceal many roaches for all they know.
Oh yeah, you could conceal. I mean, if you were to do insect swarm, they could emerge from your scarf and no one would know you cast a spell. It'd just be,
that is so gross.
That's the dude who keeps roaches in his scarf. Roach scarf. It's like pocket sand. Roach. It's the next level of pocket sand.
Pocket roach.
Yeah. Brilliant. Fantastic. Alrighty. What would you guys like to do?
Look, I do want to say there's another option here. If the leader does end up finding himself amongst the crowd, if I were to suggest he did something, I can make him possibly do things that we want him to do. That's also another way we could approach this situation.
What do you mean?
I have the ability to sometimes suggest things to people and make them do certain tasks that, are reasonable. It's nothing that would hurt themselves. But if I told him to walk into the crowd and start telling people smiles on dials and pushing them, we can just let it sort itself out as an option.
But just get the mod to take care of him. But I mean, we'd also have to have him order away all of his guards, because I assume if you just give him a suggestion to go out into the main square and start pushing people and smiling, that the guards would probably follow.
Well, can you make yourself look like him? What if the guards think they're following him but they're not?
I can't really do that, I'm afraid. I mostly look like me most of the time.
Occasionally slightly more angelic
for you.
Look, figured I'd throw it out there.
Yeah, no, it's a good idea, but
I think so too. We just got to distract those guards somehow.
Yeah.
Or kill them all.
Maybe if we just go up and tell him we saw the guards not smiling.
Oh, that could work. I like that idea. I think I like that idea a lot.
Then he'll send them away. We pretend to be new guards. Or Grinner pretends to be new guard. That worked very well the last time he tried that.
Yeah, well, different people this time. I learnt a lot.
Then we could suggest he goes out in there and test Gunther's suggestions as the crowd would at least not look. Well, okay, maybe we talk to Victor first, see if we need to.
I think so, yeah.
But we still don't know if we want to kill this man.
Well, I'm pretty certain.
Well, I mean, like we don't have to. We don't have to.
We've already started calling him victim. Like it's only natural that we just follow through at this stage.
Well, no, the victim's not even the one we're trying to kill.
I just killed them all, just to be safe. Killed all of the watchers. Why don't we just sort of finish the job with the Valakovich? Imagine that's how Grinner says that. Oh my god.
Well, I mean, like we don't have to jump straight to killing the poor man, but let's see where we go.
I think poor man's a bit generous, Luther.
Well, that is generous. I take that back at least, but maybe let's not murder him just yet. I'm saying this like obviously stage whispers.
Yeah. No, don't worry. I know you're not just having this conversation like openly in front of the Baron. What do you mean? Although that's pretty funny now. Back. Just having this conversation back far enough, like down a small side alley, as Theodore's able to turn into a roach without people turning around going. As they see her. Yeah.
So, but as far as getting Jonor in there to have a chat with the victim, are we going to need to like?
Just say we are his close friends from.
Well, I don't think that's going to work. But what? The fact that Jonor knows a lot of shit and has his own books and stuff. What if Jonor is, I don't know, like a traveling salesman of magic book shit? And
it could be something along those lines, like, or even like a tutor or something to help the young one with.
Yeah, something like that. Something where Jonor heard about this young bloke who just likes to read his books and turn people into cats, and he's just here to teach him more shit.
Allegedly turn them into cats.
I don't know what that word is.
or we could go him selling the books and stuff. That's that could also be another one, like you said.
Yeah, you'd be all right to sell him your spell book, would you, Jonor?
I don't think so.
Jonor, you don't need to sell it to him. You just need to chat with him.
Look, maybe I could check what spells he's got, and there's a bit of a mutual transfer of information could be helpful. I think I could toe that line pretty well.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's run with that then. Let's go. How the fuck we get it in there though, right? Because there's an old smiling bloke out the front.
That's the Baron.
Yeah, I know that. We don't want to chat to him. That's the problem. We got to get past him into his own house without him letting. Yeah, what the fuck we doing?
I don't think we're going to be able to go in there. We could try the stealth approach. I think we're just going to have to sort of approach as visitors, I guess.
Well, I could, yeah. All right. So we either go up there as visitors, or I'll go up there with a big old frown on my face and then run off.
He won't like that.
Oh, no, that's my point. Maybe he'll run after me.
I mean, do you really want to end up in the stocks again?
Well, look, no.
We promise we will not throw fruit at you this time.
Yeah. Well,
no one else did, other than sort of trail off.
I mean, technically, no one threw fruit last time either. It was like a cooked egg. It's like scraps from breakfast, wasn't it?
We had it all moved on, okay? We don't need to keep. I'm sorry. We're sorry.
Look, I think if Jonor buying children chat still sticks around, you throwing food at Grinner is going to stick around for at least. And what number session is this? Like,
yeah, forgiven but never forgotten.
Oh, you've forgiven me?
Well,
we're good then. We're good.
Right. That's how we get past old Smiley Pants over there.
Maybe we just smile and walk past him.
Straight into his fucking house.
Yeah, we're here to install the smiles.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Maybe we've got some work we need to do for the reefs.
Yeah, all right. Look, there's here to be quite a lot of people going in and out. Let's just give it.
I feel like if we just pretend to almost look like the workers themselves, and we make ourselves look busy with tools, we have the smiles plastered on our faces, and we just pretend we're doing work there. A lot of people just sort of walk, look past that.
Also, I might have missed something, but can we just ask to speak to Victor?
Yes, we could.
We can do that as well.
Surely Victor would have friends. We can just. The Jonor can just say he's friend of Victor.
Yeah, I think you're right. That doesn't seem likely.
No, it is very unlikely, but
that either of them have friends.
I'm next to like Jonor, just patting him on the back, like it's all right. They're just saying things. They like don't mean to do this to you. They're just aware of this is them improving to
No, I mean Victor having friends, not Jonor. Jonor has. I mean.
Well, no, Jonor has us.
Yeah, he's got several friends.
Yeah, at least 4.
See, they got about it in a roundabout way. They finally got there, but it took some time. It's okay. I'm just planning.
Thank you. I was pretty sure that's what they meant, Luther. I'm glad that you clarified that was actually the case. That's great.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that we've thrown quite a lot of good ideas out here. How about we just wander up and wing it, and one of those ideas...
just try them all at once. One will eventually work.
We can place them all in a hat and pick the one.
I like that. It's a lot of reading. Right,
let's just get to it then.
Off we go. Grid's on.
Okay. No, I decide, Jonor. Off you go.
Alright. Well, wait here. Don't try first, and then we can try the smiles if that doesn't work.
Yeah.
All right.
Pretend he's a friend, or you're a traveling book salesman, or a magic tree, whatever you want to go for. Let's go.
Or a friend.
What do you think Jonor is most comfortable with? Like, what angle do you think he would approach it as?
Chatting about books with someone he's heard that likes books.
So you're like in primary schools, like you used to have like a book fair roll in. And that's basically what you do.
You like dinosaurs? I like dinosaurs. Are we friends now?
I'm imagining like a pen pal scenario where one person's turned up on the doorstep of the other unannounced.
Ooh. They always go.
You are always meant to be a distant friend.
They always go really, really well, those situations.
I'm back to being pocket roach then if Jonor's rolling up.
I figured as a nice DM, you've only just turned into Pocket Roach now.
My God.
Scarf Roach.
Nice.
Alrighty, brilliant.
Come back, let's discuss this further.
Jonor,
let's check with Gunther to see if this is a good plan.
Yeah, we need to talk to Gunther. I think this is a great idea. Could you turn me into some sort of like pocket falcon? As you begin walking towards the manor, Jonor, with Theodore tightly wrapped up in your scarf, hidden away from you. You don't get many looks. I mean, your clothing, while quite different to what a lot of the other people are wearing. I mean, the blues and whites are quite a bright color for Barovia and for Vallaki. You're not wearing armor. You're not kitted out in like very extravagant looking items, and you look just like a human. There's no real like obvious signs of your nature apart from your light hair and your slightly silvery eyes. You kind of don't draw a lot of attention to yourself, and as you walk up past, none of the guards seem to be even slightly interested in you. As you begin walking through just behind a group of other people, you get right up towards the front of the house, only meters away from the Baron. What would you like to do?
Walk confidently, pretend you're meant to be there.
Yeah.
Light on, use the drafting of the people in front of me.
Yeah.
Walk as I get close to the manor. I'm not going to make eye contact with the Baron unless he makes a comment to me specifically.
Yeah.
Go for the front door. And
Could you
then
make sure you have a smile?
Yeah, I think he does that.
Yeah. Casual
Could you please
smile.
roll
They
me
do go
a
for miles.
performance check,
Uh-oh.
Jonor?
This is a strength, definitely.
12.
Oh,
Jonor?
bad considering.
You breeze right past the Baron, who does not even bat an eyelid, as you walk in behind a group of other Barovian men and women who are heading inside. They walk into the front, you walk right in with them through the front doors, past the two guards who don't even look at you, and enter into the foyer of the manor. You can see a man dressed in a very sharp black suit, standing at the bottom of the stairs, watching as the other people who step in begin turning towards the right and gathering piles of sticks from a sheet that's been laid on the floor. As you step in and have a bit of a look around, the butler does notice you and begins walking down the steps. Can I help you, sir? Are you here to help gather the wreaths? I'm not sure I'm familiar with your face.
Oh, hi. My name is Jonor. It's lovely to meet you. What's your name?
You can call me Seth. I am the butler here. Might I ask your business in entering into the Valakovich household?
I'm here to sell and exchange information about books, and I hear there may be a resident here that has an interest in books as well, and I would be excited to chat with anyone of that sort.
I'm sorry, sir, but we are not accepting door-to-door salesmen at this time. We are busy preparing for the Festival of the Blazing Sun. If you could please take a step outside.
Fucking Jonor.
To be fair, I'm not trying to sell information. It's a mutual sharing of knowledge.
I'm sorry, I must have misunderstood what you said at first then. So you're here for what purpose exactly?
To share knowledge of the arcanes.
Right. Do you mind if we go speak with the Baron briefly?
Oh.
Absolutely, sure. Why not? And so,
Hearing this, I would like to slip out of that scarf and just scurry into the manor.
No problems.
Yeah.
No problems at all.
I want a friend. I want a friend.
I love this idea of you being like, do you know what? I'd rather be a roach on his own right now.
That works out quick.
Yep.
I'm going to cast suggestion onto him.
Oh, yep.
Oh,
Okay.
And
we're reeling it back.
I'm going to say...
I love the idea of the roach being like halfway out of the scarf, and then Jonor goes,
What?
I suggest. You're like, oh, hang on, this could be good. Yeah.
Could you let the son of the Baron know that there is a person that wants to talk to him to talk about some interesting books, and that'll be in the stockyard later tonight.
Ooh. Okay. I need to
This is
make
interesting.
a wisdom saving throw against suggestion, I believe.
We're all
That's
gonna die.
be- That is
Probably
a wisdom
13
15.
or 14 or 15. That's
15.
nice.
Oh, so can I decide? I haven't seen the roll yet. Can I? What's my remaining portent rolls?
Let me have a quick
don't remember
look.
what those were.
That's okay. I should have written them down if I am. Here we go. You've got a 3 and a 4.
Okay. I think I did use one of those before. I'm going
I
to
think
use
you
the
used
other
the
one.
4, so you still got the 3
Yeah,
if I remember.
yeah, I'm
It
gonna
doesn't
use that
matter.
3.
It's irrelevant because it still fails no matter which one you've already used. So I'll take those portent rolls off as they are both gone.
Yep.
As he goes to, as you say this, Jonor, like, I suggest that you tell the son that we'll meet with him in the stockyard to discuss an important matter involving spellbooks. You watch as he like goes to sort of almost shake off this effect, and you then remember this flash. One of the cards you drew mentioned this. This was something you've seen before. And you quickly channel that power and focus. And as you look at him and catch his eyes, as he goes to open his mouth, you go, please. And he sort of freezes for a second. And then you watch as he sort of slackens for a second. And then this like shimmer of magic goes across. Of course, sir. I'll be back in a moment. And he begins heading upstairs.
I gotta know, what was the original roll?
10. He still would have failed. But it was worth
That's
it.
all
It was
right.
worth
That's
it.
fine. It's worth it. It is.
So it would have been a total of 12. So still a fail, but amazing. Like definitely like a guaranteed
Definitely
victory on
worth
that. Worth it. Jonor, he begins heading upstairs. Of course, sir. I'll be but a moment.
At that point, I'm going to turn around and walk back outside because he's going to know he was charmed.
Yes, he is.
And I'm going to get my fuck out of there.
Yeah.
I'm gonna jump out in roach form and still have a little pedal around this manor, I think, actually.
Which is, yeah, absolutely. I think what we'll do then, given where we're at time-wise, I think we'll go through the manor in detail. And if you wanted to follow... Did you want to follow the butler, Theodore, just to see where...
Not necessarily. I figure we have a good chance of getting the victim out regardless. So I kind of just want to scope out the other room to see if there's anything else that I could like very quickly learn that we could use against the Baz.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Okay, tell you what, do you want to make me an investigation or perception check? And I will quickly give you a rundown of the inside of the house. Just a quick rundown as you are like moving around quite quickly, trying to get as much of an idea as you can, as quickly as possible of what you might find. Natural 1, that is a 7 total. That's a real shame. The problem is, right, in roach form, your vision's not great.
Compound eyes.
Yeah, compound eyes. It's a very weird thing to get used to. And as you scurry around, you get a general layout of the manor, Theodore. There's a couple of rooms that you sort of move past quite quickly because they're dark, and as you like peek in underneath the door, it's really dark in there. You can't see very much, so you move on.
No crumbs to be had there.
No crumbs to be had there as you scurry about the place. I mean, yeah, you move through the bottom layer, the first floor. Not really much there going on. You move through, you quickly move up the steps. You can see there's some rooms, a bit really short there. There's a moment where you hear this barking of large dogs, and you definitely avoid that door as you move away. As you come back out down through the main entrance or out one of the windows and disappear into the brush before turning back into your satyr form. I mean, yeah, general layout. There's about 6 rooms on the lower floor and then about 6 on the upper floor, but apart from general layout, not very much for you, sorry.
Honestly, that was more than I was expecting to get off that nat 1, so sweet. I'd go link up with the dudes. And
With the dudes. As you all get back together, actually, Jonor, as you begin walking out of the house, the others who are carrying twigs and sticks and stuff immediately head to the wreath. You walk out carrying nothing. One of the guards, as you get to the front gate, sort of gives you a bit of a look, holds out a hand and goes, sorry, sis, excuse me a second. Are you not helping out with the wreath?
Yeah, I was told to come in here just for a moment, and I think I didn't bring my wreaths with me, sorry. I'm just going outside to go collect more items.
Can you make me a persuasion check,
so
please,
well.
Jonor?
He was doing so well.
Persuasion. Was not good.
Oh.
A natural 1!
Oh my
I just there's nobody's jumping.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Oh no, that's amazing. Even
couldn't have gone any better.
Lucy's sad for you, Tom. Did you hear? Lucy gave a quick bark. She's like, "Oh no."
Can we go back to Gunther?
Safe space.
As you sort of like look at the guard in a bit of confusion, Jonor, and sort of fumble over this explanation, the guard looks back at the bundle of sticks and then at the giant wreath being assembled, pauses for a second, is considering what you're saying, goes, "Nah, that makes no sense, sir. I'm sorry. What are you doing here? Who are you? What are you doing here?" And as he says that, the guard looks a bit troubled. You hear a, "Why do we have frowny faces?" And you hear from behind you the sound of footsteps and a hand placed on your shoulder. And as you turn around and look up into the smiling face of the Baron, Margus Valakovich, "We have a newcomer! Hello!" And that is where we're going to wrap up for today. Oh, mate.
Oh,
You were so
God.
close, Jonor. You were so close. That
This
clutch
has not
save with
turned out
suggestion.
positively.
So close. Oh my goodness. I can't wait to see what happens next episode. But I'm going to have to. Exactly 1 week. But we will be back again next Monday for more Curse of Strahd. So if you're listening to this live, thank you so much for joining us. If you've been listening to this recorded on a podcast platform of your choice or YouTube, consider dropping a like, leaving a comment, or a subscribe if it's on YouTube, or a star review if it's a podcast. Thank you so much for joining us. That is all from us here tonight, but we will be back again very shortly this week with Avatar Legends campaign, Embers of War, and our brand new 5th edition campaign, homebrew campaign, Return of the Giants. For all of us here tonight, though, that is a good night and a goodbye. Stay safe, stay well, and we will see you all really soon. If you're watching on Twitch, don't go anywhere, because we're going to go raid someone. Probably Corsair's Cove. Until next time, everybody, goodbye. Goodbye!
Bye-bye.
See you, everyone.
Bye.